Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. It's Everton taking on West Ham United at Goodison Park this afternoon. We're 1 hour and 5 minutes away from kickoff, which means in a handful of minutes we will have the official West Ham lineup for you, as well as the Everton one. Gonzo, how is oneself?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Getting a bit optimistic, actually. It's capped. You know, sometimes you can get like really optimistic. I'm feeling good, but. And I know this sounds a silly thing to say because you can apply to any football match. However, this is one of the games that I find difficult to call. It can go any way. I'm struggling to call this one, really.
Yes, I know. That's why I bottled it with a 1-1 draw. I did a bit of fence sitting, picked the splinters out my bum and all that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a tough one to call. But I'm looking forward to it too, mate. I really am.
If there was, I'm not saying there's any changes.
I know.
If there was one change.
If there was one change, to preempt your question, for me, it would be Kurt Zuma.
Okay, what happens if there's two changes? Because I should have known you were going to say that one.
It would be to actually put Antonio in as well and take out one of the midfielders. That would be something pretty tasty, I have to say. And yeah, play Lucas Paqueta in the middle, Antonio on the left, Bowen up front, Kudus on the right. Yeah, maybe. I think that would be a little bit juicy, actually. I'd have some of that, but it's not going to happen. None of it's going to happen. None of the things I said to happen.
Are you confident it's unchanged?
You raise your eyebrows at me, young man. We'll see. Well, we wait and see in 3 minutes' time, whatever it is.
You will. Heel and Win says an Everton channel called the West Ham game a must win. I think it is for them, though, to be fair.
Yeah, and it's always good clickbait when you write something like that on the title of a video. You must get some people clicking on it. Yeah, it probably is. I mean, they need a little bit of a bounce, don't they? Really, following their reduction in their points penalty, and they need to sort of capitalise on it. I think it's hard to say they've been given a gift because they've just been given less of a punishment. But they're in credit with more points than they thought they'd have. And they got to really push that home now and I think create a buffer zone for what is highly likely to be some more points being deducted. I've got to say, look, I want West Ham to win. I absolutely do. And I'm not a great one for having tons of sympathy for other clubs, but it must be hard work being an Everton fan. I mean, look, there's been times I've been miserable about West Ham this season, but, maybe a little bit of a reality check. Must be much harder being an Everton fan. Must be hard to even look forward and get up for games at the moment. Surely they just must view the games as just isolated entities. And then right from Saturday to Saturday must be a miserable old existence, really, just waiting to see what horrible stuff's going to happen to your club next.
Yeah, it's like losing a tenner and finding £4, and you're unsure if you should be happy about £4 because you're still £6 down. But
that's right.
You got £4 more than you had earlier on in the day. So
that would be, there's an optimist and a pessimist way of looking at that.
Are you £4 up or £6 down?
You're £6 down, mate, and that shows you my way of thinking in life.
Steve says it'll be an unchanged lineup, I reckon. Let's hope it'll be an unchanged style of play as well. Dan's asking how long it's been since Calvert-Lewin scored. I think it's 20 games. And bear in mind, he scored against us at the London Stadium, which was late October. Surely, was that the last game he scored? Someone will know. I'll have a look in a second if no one else knows. But it must be the last time Calvert-Lewin scored must have been against us.
I remember the Fernando Torres, and I think I've remembered it wrong because your memory, as you get older, does definitely play tricks on you. There's no doubt about it. I used to think it was just stuff that older people said, but it's absolutely true. And I've got it in my mind that Fernando Torres signed for Chelsea, didn't score any goals, and hadn't scored for about 50-odd games, and then he rocked up and he scored at West Ham. That's how I remember it anyway.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. Calvert-Lewin's last goal for Everton was against West Ham. At the end of October, 29th of October at the London Stadium was when Calvert-Lewin last scored a goal.
Brilliant. Mopaitis or whatever, any one of them. What was a Brighton fella? What was his name?
Glenn Murray.
Oh, bloody hell. Another one, yeah.
Right, the official lineup's not out yet on Twitter. However, shall we risk it? Yeah, let's risk it. Oh, it's out now. Happy days. It's unchanged. The West Ham starting 11 is unchanged from the Monday night game and victory against Brentford. So in goal, we have Alphonse Areola with a back four of Vladimir Soufal, Konstantinos Mavropanos, Kurt Zouma and Emerson. A midfield trio of Alvarez, Souček and Ward-Prowse with Mohammed Kudus on the right, Lucas Paqueta on the left, kinda, and Jarrod Bowen up front. Gonzo! I say you called it. Everybody expected it. The team that everybody expected to see.
Yeah, you wouldn't have got very good odds on that team, would you? But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I really am. I didn't expect him to do, why should he do what I suggested? It's a team capable of winning a game. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Maybe that thing that we're all fearing with Kurt Zouma doesn't happen in this game, and actually we played tremendously well. I'm really looking forward to seeing Emerson actually again. I really enjoy watching him play, and as we determined on my sort of a pixelated screen, I can't tell the difference between Emerson and Paqueta either. So they're both Brazilian wizards as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, later on you might be giving man match to the wrong Brazilian wizard. That fourth goal for West Ham.
Oh, from Paqueta.
Paqueta scored from outside.
What a
strike!
What a strike! I knew he had it in him, mate.
And he got a really good assist for the first goal of the game as well.
He really did. He really did. But you know what? I'm glad David Moyes rested Emerson after 75 minutes.
And that Emerson doesn't half dive, does he?
He does. Apparently, Man City want him.
Likes a booking too. And a bet. And anyway, we'll come back to the starting 11. The bench for West Ham is, as you would expect, we'll run through it anyway. It's Lucas Fabianski, as well as Ben Johnson and Aaron Creswell. So Creswell's back. That means someone's missing. We'll work it out as we go. Michael Antonio's on there alongside Callum Phillips and Danny Ings. Ogbonna, Agerd and Mubama. So who's missing from the bench? It's just the youngsters, really, isn't it?
The youngsters. He was on the bench last time, wasn't he, as well?
Kone is still missing, so there you go. That's the West Ham bench for you this afternoon. I think it's an easy 11 for David Moyes to select. When you win, say, handsomely or comfortably, I think it was reasonably comfortable on Monday night and you score 4 goals. I think you're going to be brave to make changes. However, I do think when sometimes, me and you'll agree on something, and I'm aware that just because we agree on it, we may still remain in the minority. But when you're reading comments on the review, then the preview for this game, and in the live chat now, where you've got Celtic Hammer, sorry, not Celtic Hammer, David, but Celtic Hammer did say something about Zouma. But you've got Zouma, David saying Zuma's not for me. Jeff saying about Zuma's legs. Gary's not too happy with Kurt Zouma starting either. Everybody's scared, I think, of Kurt Zouma playing at the minute, which is understandable, I think. But an easy one for the gaffer to pick. Hopefully, we can keep up our goal-scoring streak and create chances for Jarrod Bowen up there. But a team you'd expect from West Ham. Nothing surprising, but a good bench as well, actually.
It is a good bench, but if he decides to use it, I would like to have seen just more players used, really. I think, a number of us have said it, really, haven't we? You do worry. Bowen had an exceptional match, and there was 7 minutes injury time. I know I've said it 3 or 4 times already. Take him off on 80 minutes, gives him 17 minutes rest. That accumulatively is going to really sort of pay off between now and the end of the season. And I think it's really important that he tries to ring fence some of his players. We've got an international break coming up, as you say. It's highly likely Bowen will be selected for that. Particularly if he scores again, then it's very, very, very hard for Southgate to leave him out. I know I'm not saying he's going to start, because Saka is obviously in excellent form playing. I can't imagine he'll ever play as a striker for England, so I'd imagine Southgate will look at him as a right winger. I think he gets into the squad, and we've seen what happened last time we got into the squad. So, I'd just be looking to rest some of these players as and when, and maybe have a little bit of faith in some of the players that are on the bench as well.
Right then, how do you feel about the starting 11? There's 4 options. The poll is now live in the live chat. Please select the option which closely reflects your opinion of West Ham starting at 11 today. While you're doing that, before we have a look at the Everton team, and there's some potentially good news on there for those who are wary of Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goal scoring form or lack of form, just want to point in the direction of Match Bingo, the sponsors of this video. If you would like to add a little bit of excitement to your watching of this game, you can purchase a bingo card. It's £2 per bingo card, a maximum of 5 cards per person because of responsible gambling. You will be given 15 things that you need to happen in this game. And I have to be honest with you, my card's looking not too shabby, actually. The only thing that I'm a bit wary of is I need a headed goal from West Ham. That's the thing that's my issue on that card today. But so when West Ham get a throw-in, a corner, take a kick-off, I'm ticking these things off. There's 4 prizes up for grabs. You get the first line, second line, full house. The first one to win each one wins the money. And then you've got the full house bonus. So anyone that gets full house that wasn't first will get a share of that additional £100. There's a £275 prize pot for today. But when you're on there, also grab your free card for bingos, where you need 15 teams to score a goal. And also you can get a free card for tonight's 5:30 game as Luton take on Aston Villa. It's free to get that card, free to download, free to sign up, and you can get your Villa card for free. Massive thank you to anybody that's downloads it, because it helps the channel out as well. Right then, Gonzo, would you like to know the Everton team?
I would, but I'd like to tell you that I got left-footed shot for West Ham. Sorry, left-footed goal, which I think's highly likely, I've got to say. So bear in mind the number of lefties on our team. So, yeah, I'm certainly signed up and ready for mine. Tell me the Everton team, Geo.
Well, there's a lefty in goal for Everton as Jordan Pickford continues in there with a back four, Michaelenko at left back with Branthwaite and Tarkowski in the middle and Ben Godfrey at right back. Onana comes back into the side as he partners Gardner in midfield with McNeil on the left, Harrison on the right, Decore playing a bit of a number 10 role, and Beto is up front. Calvert-Lewin dropped to the bench for Everton this game. Now you might think, wait, Calvert-Lewin's not scored in ages. Well, Beto has made 21 appearances for Everton and scored 1 goal. So there's got 2 decent strikers, but neither of them can score a goal.
Yeah, I think you're really stretching it to say they're decent strikers if they can't score goals. I'm going to regret saying that, aren't I? As soon as the words left my mouth, why have I just said that on the internet?
Anyway, well, that's the Everton team. What do you make of it?
Very nice. Yeah, lovely. Branthwaite's been playing well. Tarkowski, somebody that Moyes was after for a long, long time. I like Onana. I like the width. Good team. It's got some good players, mate. They've got some good players. They're clearly lower than they deserve to be because someone's stolen a load of points off of them. So yeah, they're better than their league placing would suggest. They've got a very, very good manager. And may I just say, by the way, I didn't say this. If they stay up and he keeps them up, I think he's done a tremendous job. If he's still, I'm sure he will still be there. I don't know why I'm saying that. But if they get, bearing in mind the points deduction, bearing in mind the cloud that's been hanging over the club, I think he'll have done a tremendous job there. I've got to say that.
Expected 11, bar the striker maybe. I'm surprised he's changed. I guess he would have had to eventually. How many games do you wait? We had the same with Danny Ings. At what point do you say, right, that's enough of the Danny Ings experiment, we're now going to try Mubama? And funny enough, it was about 20 games for Danny Ings, and it looks like Sean Dyche has gone 20 with Calvert-Lewin and said, right, 20 is enough, that's my limit. 19 is not quite enough, we needed 1 more. You couldn't do it against Brighton, you're on the bench for West Ham, Beto's coming to start 11. I think their goal threats, like I said, it's a bit weird to look at a team and not look at the striker as the goal threat, but that's how I do it with Everton. I'm looking at Onana and Decore as the ones from open play. Then at set pieces with Onana, Branthwaite and Tarkowski is the 3 main threats there. Tarkowski, as we know, likes peeling off at back posts for set pieces. As we discovered against Arsenal the hard way, we're crap at defending the set pieces at the back post. So that gives me a little bit of a worry. You know, over half their goals in the Premier League has come from set pieces. So we can keep them in their half and away from getting free kicks. And that's the thing, though. They get a free kick on the halfway line. Pickford will come up and launch it into our 18-yarder. So even when they're getting free kicks anywhere near that halfway line, they're trying to attack it and get a goal off the back of it. And that's something we need to be wary of. Moyes just spoke about how we've lost a bit of stature with Declan Rice leaving, which, yes, technically true, but at the same time, well, this is where you have to come up with, as a manager, you have to come up with something which accommodates that lack of height that you've just lost with Declan Rice. So I'm not buying that to some extent. Everyone knows how good Everton are at set pieces, so there's no excuses for it. I was actually relieved to hear Jarrod Bowen talking about how they focused on Brentford's long throws and set pieces. That made me feel good. So I'm hoping we've done the same again today in preparation for this one. But expected from Everton, and I'll say it now, I think they've got a weakness at right back with Ben Godfrey. He's not a right back. They've got Coleman and Patterson on the bench there. Now, Coleman's over the hill a little bit. Young can play at right back, and he picks his centre back there. I think it's a pity that we can't have Paqueta running at Godfrey, but what we do have is someone who probably won't know whether to chase Paqueta or not. Do you let Paqueta go, or does he come with him? As a centre-back, his probably natural instinct is to chase him, as we've seen with ours. They'll happily run out of defence and follow the striker. So I think there could be an opportunity down that side for Emerson in particular to get forward and use that space and get Paqueta dragging Godfrey out of there. So, yeah, interesting. Right, the bench for Everton, and we'll see what you guys think of the game. We've got Virginia on there alongside Nathan Patterson and Michael Keane. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is on there with Ashley Young and Andre Gomez. Seamus Coleman's on there with Dobbin and Chermiti. That is your bench for the Evertonians this afternoon. Right, Gonzo, you've seen the teams. What are you fancying for the bet?
Oh, it's going to be a tough one. We can't go goals galore on this one. I feel we can't. I wonder if someone's going to foul Onana. Can Alvarez restrain himself from getting a card? But people, actually, that's a good one. Was one of our patrons suggested that maybe it would be very good for him to get a card accidentally on purpose. We're quite good at that, West Ham. So as he then misses perhaps some easier games, he misses a 2-match ban pending if he gets another card. I think we go for an Alvarez card.
Right. Anything else you fancy? We should go for a draw. We don't often go for a draw.
Let's do a draw.
Both fancy it. So let's go draw in there. Anyone you fancy for shot on target, Anderson?
Well, Bowen will have a shot on target. Kudus will have Kudus will be better odds, wouldn't he?
Ever so slightly. There's not much in it. Go for the one you think.
Thomas Souček.
I think Bowen will have a shot on target. Kudus might be better odds. Go for the one you think.
I think I'll boost the odds significantly, and I think there's a highly likelihood that he will. A header counts, doesn't it?
It does, but you can't have Souček. He's not on Bet365. Take it up with Denise, not me. It's not me. I haven't chose the players available, but Souček's not available on this app, so you're not having him. You can have Bowen or Kudus, though.
Yeah, go on then. You choose one.
We'll go with Jarrod in there, and I think what we'll do is we'll put in Onana.
To do what?
Actually, I can't have Onana. Oh, well, never mind.
They're not very good at entering the players, are they, into the list of selected
They only
players.
do 5 or 6 per team. When it's not on TV, it's quite restrictive.
I didn't know that. Okay.
What's that? Let me have a look. 75 quid. Well, we'll round up to 100 ourselves. £100 if this bet wins. Right, if this bet wins, 100 quid.
Can I just say, if you weren't here, I would be doing Calvert-Lewin to score a goal, even though he's not even starting.
Well, I am here. So we've got 3 things. If this 3 things happen, someone will win 100 quid. Alvarez to be booked, the game to be a draw, and Bowen to have a shot on target. That's it. Just 3 things. Right. Yeah. Surely. To enter, please be subscribed to the channel. Drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up. And in the live chat, please enter the following phrase.
Young's getting on a bit.
There you go. Get that into the live chat. And if that bet wins, one of you that enters the phrase will win the 100 quid. Gonzo, have you seen the teams? What are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Exactly the same as I did before. I'm not surprised by West Ham's team. There's not a lot of surprise in Everton's team. I thought Onana would come back. It's as you were, really. 2 predictable managers. It's going to be... You want to get your... What are they called? Those tablet and keep you right. You want to get your Pro Plus tablets for this one. I would say other brands are available. I don't think they are. I think that's what you have to perk yourself up when you want to stay awake, or just a really strong espresso coffee or something. I do not think this is going to be thrilling. I'd love to be proven wrong. Imagine if we get 2 early goals in this game again. Magnificent. What an entertaining day that would be. But yeah, I think more of the same, mate. It's all about the result for both teams. It's all about the result. I don't want any of this. I said a 1-1 draw, and I'll stick with that. But I don't want any of this. A point suits both teams. Nonsense. No, I want to win.
Yeah, I want to win as well. I want us to come out and start fast like we did against Brentford. And to be fair, I think we do in most games. I think the first 10 minutes we do tend to start quickly. We just don't always take our chances like we did against Brentford. It's the 15-minute period at the end of the first half which can usually be concerning, where we sit back, and then the first 15 minutes of the second half is also the biggest concern, which is, funny enough, that half an hour is where we conceded 6 against Arsenal. So I do think we will start quick. I think Everton will start quick. A couple of disappointing draws for them recently for different reasons. You know, against Crystal Palace, the last game with Goodison, they were 1-0 up, and Palace came back Palace took the lead, and then Everton had to get the late equaliser. So obviously that feels good, to get the late equaliser is good, but then the week later against Brighton, they were leading and conceded a 95th minute equaliser against 10 men Brighton. So a couple of not great results for them, especially Crystal Palace when Hodgson had resigned that day. Glasner was in the stand, hadn't quite taken over yet, but you've seen the Glasner way implemented with Ayew, Edouard and Mateta starting. And I thought Crystal Palace looked really dangerous on the break against Everton. So when I was watching them that game, I was thinking, hello, we can have our front three doing this. We will create chances. They terrify me at set pieces. That's the one area that I'm going to worry when you've got McNeil on there, who I think his deliveries from corners is just as good as James Ward-Prowse, actually. I do believe that. I do think McNeil's deliveries at corners is fantastic. At free kicks, not so much. I think Ward-Prowse is better at free kicks, but in terms of actual corners, I think Dwight McNeil's superb at delivering. I mean, with Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Onana in the box. And then you've got Decore and Beto as well. That's a big team for us to contend with. So we need to make sure we've done our homework and we're switched on and we've got a plan for it, because when we played Arsenal, despite them using the same tactics that they'd previously done for corners, we didn't have a plan for it. We didn't know what to do. There was almost an element of surprise at what Arsenal were doing, despite them doing it for a few weeks previously. So we can't afford that today. It is a big game. It's not season defining, but what it is almost like either it can pull Everton away from that bottom three, it can put them right back in that relegation battle with us. It can put us in that European run, or it can knock us back to 10th in league. And I just think this weekend, with the other fixtures the way they are, we've got an opportunity to be the only team that wins in that little mini group of teams vying for European spaces. So I'm quite looking forward to it, actually, Gonzo. But let's see what the live chat are saying. Please get your thoughts in. Could be about the West Ham team or the Everton team, or how you see the game going. Any hopes or fears you have? No score predictions. Keep them for later on. Glenn says, hope this works again today. We've got no plan B. That's for sure.
Well, I think we do. I think it's just bring Mikel Antonio on. But hey, that may or may not work. But yeah, we're not a tactically flexible side, are we? Let's be fair.
We've got Peter saying Zuma has been allowed to use a Zuma frame today.
Zuma frame.
Zuma
frame. That's his new name. Zuma frame.
Someone was asking about our we had our moisturizer and our Creswell. Do your hair well, Creswell. Gel.
Yeah. So. Absolutely.
Ryan says Everton have the highest stats for crossing attempts and header attempts, and we have one of the worst records for defending them, but not resulting in a goal. Explains Zuma over Jarrod.
Quite possibly. You said you'd rather have Zuma in for this one, didn't you? For that reason.
No, I'd rather have Ogbonna in for this one.
That's what I said.
I didn't want Jarrod nor Zuma. I would prefer Ogbonna for that reason. I understand Jarrod is sloppy in the air, and I think he's beaten easily, so that's why I would have went for Ogbonna. Matt is saying, do you reckon we've given up on Jarrod? It could be going in the summer, and if I recall, I read the club had doubts about Jarrod's commitment with his illness and him still going to the African Cup of Nations. It's a good team, however.
That's hard to say. I think a lot depends on the manager. I think Jarrod's a good player for somebody who might play differently to David Moyes. In fact, I think he's a very, very good player. I mean, there were a lot of rumours beforehand that he was sort of putting his country first, but I think he wouldn't be the first player to do that. I don't think we've given up on Jarrod. I just think David Moyes was desperate and he's just changed the team around. And Mavropanos was so good. There's no way he could put Jarrod back in. But I think we'll see him back in the first team before the end of the season.
Well, we've got the European games coming up, so he'll come back in for Freiburg at least. Jolinho says, fed up with Ward-Prowse and Zuma in the starting 11. Joshua says, I get why Moyes is using Zuma, considering Everton's aerial threat and Jarrod's lack of aerial ability. Paul says Zuma is finished, but will only be at the team when Stevie Wonder can see it. In Talk says, I'm 50-50. It all depends on if we start like we did last game. If we do, we win. If we don't, I am worried. Bill will take a draw today, build a bit of momentum for Thursday night against Freiburg. Taylor said it's a shame about how Callum Phillips' start since coming. Really thought he'd make an impact. Now it seems to be lucky to get the opportunity.
I do think he'll get one. I really do. I think he'll get one. I think there's no way that Alvarez can stop getting card. So, and do you know what? Even if he's just there for cover, I know it's expensive, look, but it's not our money, really, is it? If the club want to do that, that's what the club want to do. I was worried when there was nobody there in midfield, and once we missed Alvarez, it seemed like everything broke down. So I think Phillips will get to play. And whether he'll get to play long enough to be considered an outstanding and a good signing for West Ham, I don't know. But I appreciate the cover being there. I really do.
Yeah, I think he'll get loads of minutes. I think if we're winning today, he's possibly one of the first subs in David Moyes' head. He's thinking, right, I need to freshen up midfield. Alvarez is on a booking. Phillips is going on. Ward-Prowse is tired. I'm putting Phillips on, moving Souček forward. He's one of him, Antonio, and Ben Johnson are the 3 subs today. If we make subs, the other ones won't come on unless there's an injury. We've got the England international break coming up. We've also got Freiburg. Will he play Alvarez, Freiburg today? Freiburg, Burnley, Freiburg, Villa? Possibly not. So I think Phillips will get at least one start in that run of game. Then we've got the England internationals. And if Southgate's true to form, he'll still call up Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, that'd be good for him.
And he will get minutes away with England. Hopefully he'll go there, get a break from his bad start at West Ham, get some minutes under his belt, hopefully get a confidence boost. He's still in the England squad, come back to West Ham, and hopefully we'll almost be like signing him again. Forget that bad bit you've had, start fresh, let's go. I still think he's got a lot to contribute this season. Positively, he's contributed a lot, but I think he can positively contribute a lot. Scott says Moyes basically will never change his team if there's success. He will probably not make any subs until the 87th minute again. Mark says, I want us to continue to press high, but need to be wary of Everton hitting us on the break. Hammer Boy says, win today, the next 2, including European football, and the team could have a big boost of energy. And I'll have a big boost of energy and hope if we win today.
Yeah, well, win the next 3. Wow. I mean, yeah, that'd be on cloud 9, really, wouldn't we?
Yeah, beat today. If we can win today against Burnley and go through in Europe, we'd have to win all 4 games as long as we get into the next round.
Yeah.
I think that'd be magnificent going into that. But it's a big gift, though. There's a lot to do. That's 4 games. We're talking about 4 games. It's a lot of games, but I'm optimistic. Sean says Jarrod is our best defender. He saves his partner from conceding a goal every game with his pace, but he doesn't have anyone bailing him out when he makes one.
Mm-hmm. That's a fair shout, to be fair. That is a fair shout.
Joshua said, I don't fully understand why Ward-Prowse started to great with some fans. Think he's as good as an attacking midfielder in the David Moyes system. Reminds me of 10-20 lockdown Noble.
Yeah, I think the thing is with Ward-Prowse, I think he was good in the last game, and he was involved in that build-up for the first goal, actually, as well. I think he played a good pass in there, but he's not a number 10. I think that's the thing. He's very much, I think when he's not getting his set plays, he don't look as great. But honestly, I think he's been poor. I think he had 4 or 5 really poor games, I've got to say. But the last one, I thought he played decently. Yeah,
I agree. Everyone's talking about Freiburg now. Freiburg drew 2-2 with Bayern. Bit of a concern. Bayern's season's pretty much over, Phil, I think. I think it's not the Bayern Munich of old. I don't think. Billy says that Moyes is like a bag of Rebels. You never know what you're going to get.
Don't like the coffee ones.
I don't eat Rebels because of that.
Just in case you get a coffee.
Yeah. I'm not risking it. I don't want to know.
That's absolutely. Nice to play it safe. Just buy a bag of Maltesers if you wanted that sort of thing, wouldn't you?
Yes. I do prefer Maltesers. They're my favourite, actually. Dino says today is the day Ward-Prowse will score his free kick. Bill said Moyes is going to want to make Phillips work because I'm sure the lure of getting him in the England squad would have been a factor for him coming to us.
I agree, Bill. Yeah.
Peter saying why Cloud 9 not 7 or 8?
I don't know. I bet you could Google it and find out why that saying is that. There's many a saying and a phrase I've Googled.
It's to do with the formation of the cloud.
Is it?
Yeah, the cloud is like starts with C. It's a long word. It's not this. I don't know the word. It's like Columbus, but it's not Columbus. The Columbian, whatever. And I think that's the highest cloud you can get. So Cloud 9 means you're the highest you can get.
Oh, nice. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I do. Right then, Johnson's saying, how do we eat the Maltesers? It depends. Sometimes I just crunch them, but sometimes I like to get the chocolate off and then have the honeycomby ball.
Oh,
well, what do you do?
Well, I just eat it. It's like sometimes when the kids are eating a Twix and what are you doing? Eat a Twix. What are you nibbling around the edges for?
How do you do a cream egg then? How do you eat a cream egg?
2 bites.
You rascal!
You're not sticking your tongue.
Come on, then explain how you think I eat a cream egg. Then, so bite off the top. Then what do I do?
You want me to mime? I'm not doing a bloody mime.
I know what I mime. Just a description will do. So I bite off the top of my egg. Then what do I do?
Stick your tongue in there. Stick your tongue in.
Correct.
Oh, I've got the same colour as me as me peach top.
That's the cloud. Columbus cloud.
Nice, clever.
No wonder I can't remember what the cloud formation's got. I don't know why.
Well, you did bloody well. To be fair, I was impressed.
I don't know why I know it. It's like one of those random things. Lewis says there's no way Moyes would ever go near a bag of Rebels. I imagine you only eat dairy milk. Safe, no surprises. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah. I wonder. I wonder. He's got form now. We have seen him. Somebody offered him a crisp at a football match once, and he went. This I found dodgy. He went, and I think no, it actually wasn't dodgy. He was just being polite, and he ate one crisp. Who eats one crisp?
Whole bag.
Exactly.
Whole bag. Right then, keep your thoughts coming in about the West Ham starting 11, Everton starting 11. What you think is going on? We'll try and get back to football. There's a lot of now Maltesers. I see Poppy Punk. Thank you. Says, I'm with me. He's with Geo. He also eats crunchies like a child, nibbling the edges first. Depends on my mood. I think if I'm watching something, I tend to...
It depends on how you eat a Malteser, depends on your mood.
And what I'm doing, I think. If I'm out and about, I'm not walking down the street, biting the chocolate off and sucking the honeycomb ball. I'm not doing that. It's when I'm in front of the TV with a series on or something. I know I've got an hour and I've got a bag. So much to make it last longer.
But what about a football match?
I don't eat food at a football match.
No, I mean at home if you're watching.
I don't eat food when I'm watching football.
Is that like a policy or what?
No, I'm too involved.
Oh, you can't multitask. You can't eat and watch football.
I could eat like a pizza or something, but that's about as much as it goes. I don't want to be looking at my food. I want to be watching the screen for 90 minutes. I don't want to be...
I see. That's the difference between you. I can eat a Malteser and look at the screen. I'm not focusing on it with my technique and
don't eat when watching football.
Tongue stuck in a cream egg.
I think it's because Maltesers should be enjoyable. It's like a treat, right? When I'm watching football, especially West Ham, I'm not relaxed, so I cannot enjoy.
You're not getting a full enjoyment and benefit of the Malteser
when
you're watching football.
They're like £5 these days, so I'm not wasting a bag of Maltesers. Although what I will say is Maltesers in a box are far better than Maltesers in a bag.
It feels more of an occasion. That's cinema stuff. You're into cinema territory there with the box. That's how I remember them in a box. Was a cinema. No, not that you would ever go to cinema by a. But I remember them, and they was a cinema. You had them in a box. You used to get them in a packet from the shop. But
you're a nutter for buying them from the cinema.
I'm bloody not. I don't buy anything. You having a laugh? I go to the 99p shop. Actually, it's Poundland now. They scrapped it. I go in there. I get the jelly sweets. Bob's your uncle in there, or I stash them on the kids. I say, right, fill up the kids' pockets. There you go, kids. The kids walk into the cinema like that. I ain't giving. Look, I'll pay for me ticket. That's it. I'm not buying stuff from there. No way.
Anyway, better in a box because of the air particles from the cardboard. So they are. That's why they taste different. Maltesers in a box is different from Maltesers in a bag. They sweat in a bag, but in a box there's more room, and the air particles from the cardboard alter the taste and texture of the Maltesers.
I see.
Anyway, you haven't even done the Watsits test. After you've done that one, then you can do the Malteser.
I did start. I showed good intent, but I could only get them from Co-op, and I compared them with Co-op, and then the only ones I get, so I got the Co-op home brand, and then there was big Watsits, big things.
That's like wrong.
That. But they were definitely better than the Co-op ones. That I can tell you now.
Anyway, I only eat some two at a time. Let's see if there's any football talk. Yeah, Ethan, have you seen Paqueta's been called up for Brazil?
I have. Good for him. But possibly, hopefully, bodes well. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but yeah, I think that's good news.
I think it's good as well. I think it's good for his potential ban as well. They would have done their homework on it, and I think it's good for Paqueta. It must be a really big confidence boost. He's been tweeting about being back in the Brazil squad as well, so it's something he clearly, understandably, cares a lot about. I think it's really good news for West Ham, actually.
Yeah.
So, everyone's just talking about food now.
But people like it. People like it. You know, people, they always
you can tell you can tell everybody's expecting a boring game today because everyone's talking about food now. Do you think Coca-Cola tastes better in a glass bottle compared to a can or 100%?
It tastes better, like out if you're in a boozer or something like that with some ice in it and some lemon. It definitely tastes better like that than out of a tin.
What, with water in it?
With syrup, it's all got water in it. Even the stuff that they make at the factory's got the syrup.
No, but when it comes out, when you go to a bar and you get it out draft, you can see half is Coke and half is
yes,
water.
that's because they have a box with the Coca-Cola syrup in it, and it's blended. Yeah, but that's the same in the factory.
Lewis says, "Who's your hand of the year so far?" Emerson has always been my favourite player, but I think Bowen deserves it, followed by Paqueta and Alvarez.
Pretty enjoyed watching Alvarez, I think, but we got to because we got our thing. We will have our statistical one, so which we do on Patreon. This is bloody upside down, idiot. But for me, if I was to hand out the champagne or the Maltesers at the moment, it would probably be I'd give it to Alvarez because I like him.
I think there's a lot of contenders actually. Areola is in contention. Emerson is. I think Areola's been Mr. Keep us in the game. Emerson's been Mr. Consistency. Alvarez is Mr. Underdog. And then you've got the front three. But I don't think Kudus has done it enough yet. And I think because of Paqueta's injury, it probably takes him out the running a little bit. So I think it's between Bowen, Emerson, and Areola for me. It depends. If you had to vote right now, I would probably go... I don't know actually. I'd probably go Bowen. I think he's had to change his role.
Yeah.
So I think changing into striker is difficult. I don't know actually. It's a difficult one. Patron Hammer of the year so far is Areola though. He's the one that's got the highest rating from patrons game by game, which I think makes sense. I'm not surprised by that. I'd be surprised if it wasn't that.
Stephen's our data analyst. He collates all the data from our player ratings over on Patreon. So thank you, Stephen.
Bro says, looking forward to a game. Think we'll win it 2-1. Bowen and Souček to score.
Bro travelled down from Bonnie, Scotland for the game, actually, and witnessed a 4-2 victory. So very good.
Well, I hope he's going to the next few games as well.
It's the swimming. It's not. It's the swimming. The swimming did it. So kind of too much superstition going on.
Well, you went swimming. Have you been swimming today? No.
100%. Yeah,
I thought you went swimming today. All right. Okay. Well, there you go then. Paul said he's been a Hammer since 1975. I'm 60. And in April, I'm going to watch them for the very first time against Fulham.
Excellent, Paul. Nice. Excellent, mate. Hope we win that for you, mate.
When we're playing Fulham, just after the international break, isn't it?
In April.
Play Newcastle, and then yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice story. I hope you enjoy it, Paul. I'm glad you're getting over. I assume you don't live in it. That's very naive of me, but I'm assuming with that's. Where do you think he's from? Is that an Irish surname?
Duncan, I don't know. Tell us, Paul. Go on, tell us before.
Paul, where are you from?
Yeah,
I'm just assuming when people say they haven't been, I just naively assume they're not from England. Lewis said Areola's a good shout at West Ham. We've been blessed with great shot-stopping goalkeepers in recent years, from Robert Green to Fabianski and now Areola. Matt says if Bowen scores today, he'll break our record for a player with the most away goals in one season. Today, he could be a record breaker. What are you giggling at?
Oh, Major said Plasto. So he's got the 60, lives around the corner, and he's
hopefully he lets us know a bit. Wow, he's typing
he's from Guernsey. He's from Guernsey, the Channel Islands.
There you go. Well, Paul, welcome over and enjoy it.
Excuse me. Sorry, hold on. What am I doing? Sorry. Go on. You do it. I've lost control again.
Right, we've got Bevo.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Not bad, you?
Yeah, I'm all right. What are you saying? Me and Gonzo are 1-1. We're both 1-1 in this game. What are you?
Don't know. I don't have much confidence in it. It's despite the win, I just think it's one of those games where tactically it's just never really worked for us. I think if we can turn up in the way we did, then we should in theory win. But I don't trust us to do that right now. So
sounds like a 1-1 to me.
0-0.
Oh.
Just
I
to
hope
be
you're
different.
wrong. I hope you're wrong, Charlie. Otherwise, you're in for a long watch along.
Gio, I don't think you understand. It's been David Moyes for several years. I've been in for a long watch along every single time about it, but it doesn't make a difference. So...
There's never a short watch along.
No.
Brian's buying plane tickets to come over for the Luton game from the States.
Excellent,
First
Brian.
time ever.
Excellent, mate.
That's good. I think you might see us win as well. I always think if I lived abroad, arguably I did, but if I lived abroad and came over, I think I'd pick a fixture where we're likely to win.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Or it's
going
to be memorable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be coming for Man City, but I also wouldn't be coming for... I know we've just beaten 4-2, but I wouldn't have been coming for Brentford at home or Brighton at home. I'd be avoiding those ones. Those are the types of games I just would not be travelling for. Not for me.
Yeah, it's the ones where you think about it and you're just like I would look. You can't be It's exactly like Brighton. Brighton's the key example where you're just like, why on earth? Like, I would not even begin to think about how much money it costs us as well. Like, I know people who come here from, like Lucas, who is on another channel, who comes here from the States, and I'm like, how are you spending so much money to come watch us versus like a team like Brighton? I did never ever even consider it.
Yeah. Charlie, have you got the poll results there, please?
I do. We asked you how you felt about the starting 11. And it said that 1% of you hated it. 1% of you hated it. 13% said you didn't like it. 15% said I love it. And 69% said I like it.
That's how I eat my cream egg.
I know. We've already established that.
I don't like cream eggs. Side note.
Have you thought about extracting? I almost said extracting the fondant from a cream egg and sticking a Malteser in there. Spice things up a bit.
No. I think they should sell a tub of cream egg thing.
Do they not? Do they not do that in a jar?
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
Think it would be the same.
I don't know. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just saying.
I don't think it would be the same, though.
Well, clearly not. If Maltesers taste different depending on what receptacle they're in, I'm sure cream egg fondant in a jar would be different as well.
The Maltesers taste different.
I'm not saying that.
Right, that's yours homework now, Bevel. I want you to get a bag of Maltesers and a box of Maltesers.
Oh, this is happily.
Oh no,
happily.
but no, give them to the missus. You don't see what they've come out of. Give them to the missus, and your missus on a little serviette. They'll have one that's come out of the box, one that's come out of the packet, and you need to call it. That's the scientific way.
All he has to do is call it. They taste differently. That's all.
All right, well, whatever. Yeah, fine.
Very bold of you to assume I have serviettes around the house, Gonzo.
Oh, do you not steal them from Greg's like everybody else? I get a chunk of them.
McDonald's ones for me in the glove box of the car.
Exactly right. I've revealed a little bit too much. I've already admitted that I sneak Haribo from the 99p shop into the cinema, and now I'm still a serviette stealer.
Anyway, right, before me and Gonzo disappear, just want to point you all in the direction of Matched Bingo, the sponsors of the build-up show, and the watch-along. Charlie be playing bingo. Myself and Gonzo got our bingo cards ready for the game. If you fancy participating, you can download the app via the link in the description. It's free, download it free to sign up. But the Everton West Ham game is £2 per card if you want to get involved. However, if you don't want to pay to play, that's fine. The Luton Aston Villa game, the 5:30 game tonight, you can get a free card for that game, as well as bingos, which gives you 15 teams that you need to score a goal, and they all kick off at 3 p.m. So be quick to get downloaded, get signed up, and get involved. Helps the channel out. And hopefully, someone watching this, we've had at least 6 winners. Yeah. At least 6 people that have subscribed to Hammer's Chat have messaged us and say, hey, I have won. And they've won various different amounts. Some have won £25, some have won £50. Has anyone won £100 yet? I'm not sure if anyone's...
I haven't heard of a full house yet.
I don't think we've had a full house yet, but we've had first lines and second lines. So some people have been winning 50 quid. Thanks to download. So do get download. They're a new company. They're just starting up, which means there's not that many users. So there's not that much competition at the minute over a Match Bingo, but links in the description. Thank you to anybody that does get involved. Anyway, Gonzo, I will catch up with you on Monday with the player ratings.
I'll see you later.
And Charlie, I will catch up with you at halftime.
Thank you, Gio. I shall see you then. And thank you, Gonzo. And thank you, everyone, for joining. How are we all? I hope you're well. Hope you're good. There is, of course, an extra chance to win £100 on Match Bingo. There is a bonus pot today. I don't think you can't really see it at the bottom screen, but there is a bonus pot, so an extra time to win. But we'll start as we always do. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible, how confident are you of a West Ham result today? And as you do that, let's run through the lineups in a bit more detail. West Ham lineup as such. Areola in goal. With Sufal, Zuma, Mavropanos and Emerson in defence. We have Alvarez and Souček, with Ward-Prowse probably in the 10, Paqueta on the left, Kudus on the right, and Jarrod Bowen up front. Unchanged. Not surprising, if we're being honest. It worked very well. Why would we change it? I know there's arguments to say, change against your oppositions and all that sort of stuff, but actually I think this is kind of a similar vibe oppositionally than Brentford. So in that sense, I think it's probably the right thing to do not to change. Also, with how bad we've been, when we find a bit of form, let's try to ride that form out. Obviously, there's some people who I think get hard done by. I thought Ben Johnson, who had a really good run, obviously drops out of the team because, let's be real, Sufal I thought was really good anyway in the last game. I thought Zuma got better as the game went on, but I still have concerns about him. So I think both Ogbonna and Aged could consider themselves slightly unlucky. Maybe Ogbonna slightly more unlucky than Aged, who's obviously dropped for certain reasons. And yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where you look at the bench, you've got Fabianski, Johnson, Cresswell, Antonio, Phillips, Ings, Ogbonna, Aged, and Mubama in positional order. That's Fabianski, Ogbonna, Aged, Johnson, Cresswell, Phillips, Mubama, Ings, and Antonio. Relatively strong bench. I mean, it's just the first team players, isn't it? I mean, reality, that's just where we're at. But it's not exactly a bad bench. Yeah, I can't be unhappy about it. I definitely can't be unhappy about it. When I look at the poll results and you say I like it as opposed to I like, yeah, I get it. And I think I would probably be somewhere around that as well. I'm happy. I think this is our strongest. I think this is probably in and around our strongest 11 possible. And in a game where a win would do huge things for our confidence, especially going into Europe, I can't be too mad about it, to be honest. I can't be too mad about it. Intox is going with a 5. I sometimes put cream eggs in the freezer to mix it up a bit. Harder fondant is quite nice too. I just don't like cream eggs in general, but I like the outside the box thinking. Even though I know it was for the others, but they've got Headers is with a 10. By the way, Sat, if you haven't subscribed to Pokemon Company, what are you doing? Good to see you, Barry. Headers is going with a 10 out of 10. Celtic, howdy, how are you, sir? 7, 8, 9, 9, 5, 5, 6.5, 6, 8.8. New ISO. It's the isolation is the ISO mix going up today, or was it yesterday it went up? Have I missed it? Is the question I need to ask you to. 7, 5, 6. I do have a blocked up. Well, I have a runny nose, Ray. I have a runny nose. It's a bit of a problem. I should probably have brought tissues in, and I didn't. But I do have a runny nose, which is really annoying. 9, 5, 8, 5, 6.5, 6, 6. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't actually know. Click on the link in the description below and try. And if it doesn't come up, then maybe it is. I'm not sure. 6, 5, 5, 2, 5, 5, 5. 5, I've seen it all before. 7, 7, 7, 6.9, nice. 4.2, nice. 7, 6.5. Joan, how are you? Thank you very much. If anyone chooses to download it, use the link in the description below because it does genuinely help us out a huge amount, a massive amount, to be honest. 7, Kevin, good to see you. Strong 8, 5.5, 8.5. Change my mind. Do you know what? It's interesting. Don't get me wrong. We'll be getting onto this in a second, Jeff, but I did find it. Do you know what? I'm a little bit surprised by the confidence levels, not massively, because they're still. I think the averaging out is probably somewhere around 6 and a bit, somewhere where John Kedwood is. I reckon is probably where the average is, but it's slightly more positive than I would expect. I mean, it's difficult not to after the big win we just had. Bless me. It's difficult not to after the big win we just had, right? Not to have some sort of confidence levels going into this one. And I'm not saying it's completely shocking, but I would have expected it to be slightly lower, average-wise, probably. I would have expected it to be slightly lower. It is the thing. We'll see, though. Nick's got 5 bingo, which is Nick's just running wild. Nick's running absolutely bonkers for this one. There is a limit on how many you can buy. I don't know what the limit is. I know they put a limit in because like £2 only. That way you don't overspend, like gambling app and all that. So obviously you have to be an 18 plus to get involved, because it's technically gambling and money's involved. So I know there is some sort of limit. I know they've imposed a limit, which I think is good, but I don't remember what it is. The bookies foe would take a draw now. Andy is saying minus Zuma and 8 with Zuma today in the lineup 5, and yeah, that's kind of fair. That's completely fair. I have not seen it, BW. I never check these things. I have not seen it. If something's wild, Geo usually tells me, but I have not changed it at all. How can anyone not have concerns about Zuma? Yeah, I guess that's the point, right? I mean, there's something about him where he just moves so weirdly, you know. Can't be as crocked as he looks. He just moves so weirdly. Like I can't begin to really. I said this on Analytics this week on the Patreon, right? But I was listening to the West Ham Breakdown a couple of months ago, the podcast that Jack and Cal do from Analytics United, and Cal was talking about moving Zuma on. Like, and this was before Zuma had that big drop off that he's had now, right? And he was talking about 2 months ago or something. He was talking about, right, we're gonna have to start looking towards Zuma moving on and how we're gonna have to shift his defense around, and we're gonna have to buy the replacements and then grow them into the team. So we need to move around, blah 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 blah. And I was sort of thinking to myself, it's a bit early to be thinking about that. He's only what, 28, 29, somewhere in that ballpark. And I thought, do you know what? It's maybe a bit early to think about that kind of stuff. But realistically, his drop-off has been so significant this year. In the last 2 months specifically, he just can't move. And I think he needs... If there's a guy who needs an extended break from the first team, it's definitely him. It's definitely him. We know, but we haven't had Antonio fit for a long time, Evan, is the big difference. And then when we did have Antonio fit, he was starting up front and Jarrod Bowen was starting to right. So at that point, the bench, my biggest problem with the bench, as always with Moyes, is that it is just the senior players that are left over. So the only youth player you'll ever see get on the bench is Mubama, but I would prefer, me personally, I would prefer a more balanced bench where you have, because it's very defensive heavy as well, right? Like you look at it, you've got Johnson, you've got Cresswell, you've got Ogbon, and you've got Aged. You're not going to sub on 2 centre-backs, especially both who are left-footed, and you're not going to sub on Cresswell for that sense. And then why is Cresswell there? But you'd probably put on Cresswell at left-back before you put on them. The Johnson's there, and it's just not... And then you've got, like you say, how many strikers we have on there. I mean, Antonio, you could count as being able to play out wide, but Ings and Mubama definitely wouldn't. And so in that sense, it's just not very balanced. I would prefer to take out maybe a centre-back, say you take out Ogbonna or something, and then maybe you take out Ings and you put in there a youth midfielder and a youth wide player or something, just get a bit more balance in there, because ultimately, let's be real, it just is the senior players left over, which is just the way Moyes works. I'm never surprised about it, and I never expect anything else, but I always think that's just something I would potentially do. Wayne says 6. I'd be higher if I thought Moyes was going to take the same approach as Monday, though. So we'll quickly go up if we start strong. It'll be interested to see. Definitely be interested to see how we start. Fred says he can't see Zuma lasting 60 minutes. I can see him staying on the whole game. Whether he's physically capable of doing it, well, I don't trust him being physically capable to do anything at the moment, but we'll see. Let's have a look at this Everton team while we're here. Chuck, how's Thailand treating you? Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Right, we have we started with Jordan Pickford in goal. We have a back four of Michaelenko, Branthwaite, Tarkowski, and Ben Godfrey. Onana, Garner, and Decore in midfield, with McNeil on one side, Harrison on the other, and Beto up front. Yeah, it's an interesting lineup. Their bench is Virginia, Keane, Patterson, Young, Coleman, Gomez, Dobbin, Chamiti, and Calvert-Lewin in positional order. It's an interesting one. As Gio was right to point out, Ben Godfrey potentially a weak link. He's not a right back. You want to sort of try and maybe drag him in and around from positions, but I don't know how well we're set up to be able to do that with Paqueta on the left. Emerson, you want to really be getting forward and really getting into those positions. That might leave one of these two to really exploit whoever's playing on that side, to exploit around the back of Emerson, which we've seen time after time. As the as it goes. Beto up front, as Geo said, barely scores. When he first joined, I was really excited about Beto. I thought this is a guy we could have even been looking at. I was like, he just seems to have like sort of the bits. It's just not really come together for him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the other option, not really come. I mean, Calvert-Lewin seems to have dropped off an absolute cliff with injuries, really depressingly for him. But I don't know. It's a side that I would consider beatable, but tactically, one, I think they're playing. One, I've seen them do okay recently and be able to fight, which is something we don't need. And tactically, it's not the sort of game that suits us, which is where my concern comes from. But it's not like I don't know. I just can't get overly confident for it because of the tactics. That's my big thing. That's my big thing today. Is I can't get overly confident about it because of the tactics. That's what always worries me going up against teams like this. So I'm repping it today because of the good luck. You know, it happened last time. We got to rep it again. And yes, I did find. Also, let's be real, it would bang. I did find it. It was all sorted now. We're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Fully back, draped in the garb. Must not be them. Makes sense. I mean, I know there's like specific gambling laws in the States, so isn't there? So it makes sense if it's not. It makes sense if it's not. Finn is asking where he can watch the game. Well, Finn, there are definitely ways you can do it. It is a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff, which means I am in the States today. I am in North Idaho. However, if you are looking for a way to watch the game, you go down into the link in the description below. There's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. But more importantly, on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, there's a bit there called Stream Links in which you'll find what you're looking for. Because it is Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff today, which means it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare for all involved. A little bit of a nightmare for all involved, including myself. So you may have to, at times, maybe bear with me slightly. And Dean, if you, we know how it works, Dean. If yours is vibing, I wouldn't complain about getting the DM. Do you think we'll lose Paqueta in the summer? Frustrating that he's better. The better he plays, the more likely he will leave. I would anticipate it, yes, but I'm not worried about it too much yet. Mainly because I think it is potentially just what it is. It just is what it is. We'll have to. It's one of those things where we'll just have to deal with it in the summer. Yeah, we'll just have to deal with it in the summer. Let's do sub bingo, shall we, very quickly. Sub bingo, of course, is the game where we predict when David Moyes makes his first substitute. You don't have to say sub, but they are running across the bottom of your screen right now. I'm going to say 69 as per usual. I'm going to say 69. I'm going to say 69. I'm going to say Paqueta for Antonio. Paqueta for Antonio 69 is the sub I'm going to predict being the first David Moyes sub. I am in Idaho today. Saturday 3 p.m.'s always in Idaho. Always. Anyway, let's look at what you're saying while I think about this, because I do just have this like innate concern in the back of my brain about today, and it's difficult to wiggle off. I've also just realised that I have Shuffle on in the background and Rewind with Craig David and Artful Dodgers playing in the background. So if there is ever a sign that today's going to go well, it's that. I haven't missed my boy, Louis. Louis, if you see this, love you. Good luck today. I don't even know what Louis said. Can you ever hear the Bobels chime in? I don't. You can. It's a beautiful thing, you know. I wake up in the morning, I hear it. Time differences, you know. Doesn't mean anything, does it, Charlie? You know, it's just a vibe. Mark's going 77. I got lost there in the source. I can't lie. I got lost. 28 minutes Zuma injury, stress. 83rd minute. Feels pretty realistic if we're being honest. Antonio and Paqueta 76. 71 Phillips for Alvarez. See, here's the thing. I was thinking about that, right? But the only reason I think Alvarez is going to stay on is I think he'll get a yellow card. And at that point, because he's going to get banned, there's no point in taking him off. So you might as well just keep him on. Do you know what I mean? That was my only logic there. It's the only logic I might be able to show the entire time. 68 minutes says Ryan, 74 minutes Antonio for Pac-Man, 80 Phillips, 78 Phillips for Kudus. Yeah, it's cold. That's why my Dean Marsh specific. And I've also got a duvet on underneath. It's cold. It's cold here. It's cold here. 63 Phillips for Suchek, 45 minutes. Phillips with James Ward-Prowse. Zuma for Ged, half time. Says Samir, 82nd minute. Alvarez subbed just after getting a yellow card. 56 minutes. Phillips for Alvarez after routine yellow card. First 10 minutes. I do think it would be interesting. Like, obviously, if he gets a yellow card, he's going to have to play Phillips, right? And then realistically, in Europe, you're going to think about potentially switching him around, and he's going to be the guy who's going to have to sit and deal with that sort of stuff. So I feel like there is. Thank you, Dean. By the way, I much really appreciate it. I've just seen the message. So yeah, I think there is a thing. I think there is an idea of putting in there, because there is going to be a time sooner rather than later where he is going to have to be relied upon, which is in a terrible moment, which is a terrible, scary thing to admit. You know, it's a terrible, scary thing to admit. 78 Phillips for Suchek, 75th minute Suchek for Phillips, 52 minutes Zuma off. Good. Ben, very glad. Thanks for joining as well, bro. Exactly. It's your own private, beautiful North Idaho, you know? Get involved with NIITS. Sub bingo, 40 minutes Zuma for Oggy, and then 4 subs in second half. I will say, as much as I don't think it's going to happen, Marty, because of the multiple subs, I hope it does, because one of my match bingos today is 3 subs for West Ham. I don't know if you can see that. 3rd sub made for West Ham. That's the one I'm really worried about. We'll go on to score predictions now, because we are a couple of minutes away from kickoff. We've spoken about both lineups. We've spoken about the starting 11, the subs, the tactics. We've spoken about it from loads of different directions. So it's time to lob those score predictions in chat. Those final ones. No more flipping, no more flopping, no more sitting on the fence. Lob them in chat, and we will lock them in. We'll lock them in. But yeah, I'm looking at the sub bingo while you. I'm sorry, not the sub bingo. Looking at the match bingo while you do that, and that's my big concern for me. Is the 3rd substitute made at West Ham. Outside of that row, 2 subs made for West Ham, a goal on a minute beginning with 1, a corner awarded, and a save attempt for Everton. That's doable. And I think there's a lot of doable things. For example, my right-footed goal awarded for West Ham seems unlikely, if we're being honest about it. But goal kick taken, kick off in half, 3 minutes added time, free kick taken for Everton, and a right-footed goal awarded. That bottom row for me seems doable. But yeah, match bingo, link in the description below. If you download it, it helps us out a huge amount. An absolutely gargantuan amount. I can't lie. Let's go through some of your score predictions while I move these things around and hope that works. Right. Scroll up. Yes. So the ban would only be domestic. So any domestic cups, which we're not in anymore, thankfully. In that sense, yes. But Europe is a completely separate system. They are still as expensive. You know, getting it piped through from, London to North Idaho. It's a long way. It's very expensive. It's very expensive. 3-2 says Mark. Jeff has gone with 2-1 Hammers win. Hope bells may be needed. We do have bells if necessary. Sebastian says let's go Everton. Sebastian, welcome, my friend. Hope it goes well for you specifically. Obviously, from our perspective, hope it goes really badly. But for you specifically, I hope it goes well. 1-1 says Bill. 2-1 away win, says Kervinald. Love to see it. 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-0, 2-0, 3-2, 3-1, 2-0, 3-1, 1-0 loss at a boring defensive game. I definitely agree with you there, Oliver. 1-1, I'm feeling positive, so a 2-1 defeat, says FPB. 3-1, 5-0, says Evan. Bowen hat-trick, because why not? Everton 0, West Ham 2. 3-1 to us, 6-2. to the Irons, says JC Florida, coming through with the confidence. A 2-0 crap fest, says Fortunes. Yes, love that from Brian. Souček will put in that potato salad head on goal in the first half. I tell you what, it would be an unreal moment in time. It would be a beautiful, beautiful moment in time. A 2-1 loss, says JB. We are due a Souček helicopter celebration. I strongly agree, Wally. I strongly agree, my liege. And I'm going to be very excited when it happens. 4-1, says Monkey Harris. We are going to be underway in just a few moments' time over here. It's going to be kickoff. I'll be slightly behind you because I am in North Idaho. Time differences, and then you've got the link and however, streaming to YouTube. It's all a bit slow, but there is a timer in the top corner which says exactly how far behind you I am. Remember, we will be live though throughout the entire game here today. There won't be a moment where we are not live. We'll be live chatting it through, hopefully a big West Ham victory. Outside of that though, remember at halftime Geo will come back to talk sense. It won't just be me the entire time. I'm going to move these breadsticks because they're actually in my way right now. Geo will be back at halftime to talk actual sense about what's going on as opposed to the absolute nonsense that's going to be coming out of my brain. Additionally, we'll be live, of course, at full time with the full match review. But before then, we have 90 minutes of football to go. It's West Ham United versus Everton in the Premier League. It's a difficult one. It's a squeaky one. We'll just have to see how it goes. I'm struggling. It's all going Pete Tong for your boy. It's all going Pete Tong for your boy. In a major way. We'll figure it out as we go. But at this point, screw it. It's probably be a kickoff for me. So, deploy the boys. Come on, you Irons. It's time to run two things. West Ham versus Everton in the Premier League. I'll be honest with you, I can't even get that one to work, Dean. I'm having a mare, mate. I'm having a mare. Just Yank, thank you very much. 2-1 score prediction. Bowen, Kudus to score for us. Calvert-Lewin to score for Everton. Appreciate the $4.99. I'll be loving your name in the top corner. Thank you very much, sir. Very, 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 very kind of you, sir. Did not need to do that whatsoever. Listen, I need to get the mini fridge. The Dean idea mini fridge is just a strong call for me. It's just something I need to get involved with, and I never have. But it's something I need. It's something I need. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I can't get it. It's just. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Three PM kickoffs are an absolute nightmare. They always are. They always will be. 3-1 Hammers, bit of pack magic, says Sean. Listen, Sean, we take that all day. We take that all day, all night. No stress on that one. We'd love it. We would love it. It's huge for him being back in the team, to be honest. It's huge for him being back in the team. Without him, it's just an absolute mess, realistically. Christ. Like I say, it's one of those games where I've just got. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate it because I'm struggling as well. Do you think Souček could jump higher if he spun his arms around? Maybe. I see him a lot like have you ever seen the original drawings? I don't know what era was the helicopter discovered, but the ones where it was just like a spiral on like a little bit of thing and it would just rise up. I see him a bit like that. I think if we could get the momentum of the spin, it could maybe happen. It's one of those games today where I don't like predicting. I don't like predicting a loss for us. Well, not a loss, but I don't like going into it not feeling confident. But we've been doing these watch alongs for a long time at this point, and I can't act like I've ever felt huge amounts of confidence in lineups like this or formations like this. When you go up against a team like Everton, just tactically, it just doesn't feel the one, and it's never felt the one, depressingly, which is something I feel like we should figure out at some point. I don't think we ever will, depressingly. But yeah, it's so difficult to predict because with Paqueta back in the team, Paqueta down in 17 seconds, elbow to the face, Jesus Christ. With Paqueta back in the team, you'd feel like there'd be something more it's it's just so difficult for me to say that. It's just so difficult for me to say that because we know what the vibe is. We know what the formation is. We know what the effort is. It's just so difficult to really to have faith in it, right? In matches specifically like this. And you lot know, like I'm more positive about these things than most people are. But specifically, I can't find myself going, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm not ahead. I'm as far behind as it's possible to be. I'm as far behind as it's possible to be right now. I'll be real. Let me pause it for a second. Not that it makes literally any difference at all. West Ham fan is saying West Ham 3, Everton 2. Philip, afternoon, gents. Evertonian here. I just can't see us scoring. We're doomed. If it helps, Philip, I have doubts we'll score as well. Despite the fact this lineup scored 4 last time, I'd have doubts as well. But I hope you will, bro. Marley's saying I want Kudus to come out and smash it in the back of the net. I would love it. I would love a Kudus goal. I would absolutely love a Kudus goal. It would be huge. It'd be massive. What's the deal with Konate today? I don't know. He's just, having a bit of power outage, Stevie B, exactly. I don't know. I just don't think he's... he got injured before, right? That was what we heard. Well, that was what we were told, right? Is that he got injured before the last game or something, and that's why he wasn't in it. So maybe there's still an injury or something going on now. Whether or not that's the case, I don't know. I can't exactly have confidence in that. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm just not sure. To be honest with you, I'm sort of done with him anyway. I think his time at West Ham's done. But yeah. Yes, thank you. Blindness of all screen. Still the bench. Thank you very much. Who was that who said that? Henners, appreciate you, bro. Thank you. That will probably have to happen at some point, Marley. I can't lie. They are ready if we need it. Graham, hi from Canada. Everton 1, West Ham 2. Listen, Graham, we would take that all day. I'd be happy with anything. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'd be happy with anything. Really struggling. Flipping. Can't get it. Can't get it at all. I literally I can't get it at all. I'm having an absolute nightmare. It's like Arsenal all over again where I missed the first goal. Apparently Cornet has a hamstring injury, out for was it 7 weeks? I missed this, Steve. Thank you for the intel. I completely missed this. Was it 7 weeks? Jesus Christ. That's bad. That's very, very bad. I mean, for him, given the massive injuries he's had, to see the idea of him being gone for that long, it's just is a poor time for him. I don't know what we're gonna do with him in the summer. I'll be honest with you. I think we have to move him on somehow, but I just don't know how. Annoying. I'm having such an absolute nightmare. I literally can't see a single thing. I can't see a single thing. It's an abs. It's a. We promise him that we can give him minutes. It really is a difficult one with Cornet because there is very clearly something there. And like when he first came back from his injury, I was all for him. When Cornet first came back, I thought he was vibing. He looked like he was up for it. Like it really did genuinely feel like there was something going on for him. But just can't back it since then. There's just been absolutely nothing. There hasn't been a single time where I've gone like, or it has been a couple of times. I was at Gaming Europe, but outside of that, I mean, I'm just stretching, I'm just reaching and hoping something comes of it. But realistically, there's not much. There's not much. His performances have got worse, in my opinion, since time has gone on. And when you're in that position where it's just getting worse and worse, every performance is getting worse and worse and just becoming more and more pointless. And it's just, for a guy who seems to be that injury prone as well, it's just not worth keeping around. Despite the fact there is very clearly something there. That he does have some form of ability. It's just impossible to see where he fits in. I can't find it at all. You know, I just can't see how you'd keep him in this side, which is so depressing because when he's good, he's good. Like there is something there, and it could be something really useful. Like, especially with Kudus as well at this point. Like, I would have seen him being a guy who, hey, maybe he could step in. Maybe he could step in when Jarrod Bowen was injured and everything. But now we have Kudus to do that. I just don't see why he's there. I just don't see it. And it was just sad because I want to see it. I want him to be involved because there is something there. I've been a fan of his for a long time, but I just can't figure it out. I just can't. He's just probably gonna have to leave in the summer, but I also don't know who the heck's. I don't know when his contract comes up. I don't know who would take him. Yeah, I don't know what to do with him. I don't know what to do. How to solve a problem like Maxwell Cornet. The answer is, I know. We almost scored. Thank you, Ethan. Keep me updated. Keep me updated. Thank you, Jonathan. I do have a runny nose and a bit of a sneeze, but apart from that, that's we are doing a bit of sneeze. But there we go. Apart from that, I'm well. I genuinely can't. I just genuinely can't get anything to work here. Good shot by Alvarez. Wally, keep me updated. Keep me updated. I got excited there. Still nothing. All the usuals. I just can't. There's nothing. There is just nothing. There is just nothing. Good effort, Dinios. Pins or Phillips. It's really difficult to figure out again what to do with him. I feel like if he worked out, if the transfer, if he started getting game time and all that sort of stuff, I'd be really confident about him. I think he would add such a nice element to the team that we don't have. I just can't see it happening. I just have a worry. Thank you, Dean, by the way. I just have a worry. I can't figure it out. Like, what do we do with him? Like, he has, like, we need to sort of, like, we're caught between a rock and a hard place, right? Because realistically, he needs to be, how do I word this? Realistically, I felt like we would have to push through and we'd have to carry on just playing him for the sake of just getting it out of the way and, like, getting through the bad form. But at a time where we were out of form and he was coming in and it just wasn't really working out. I don't know. It felt like all of a sudden that push through felt impossible. And without getting that game time, I don't know when he comes good. I still have faith he will because he's got so much talent. And if he was, it would be such a huge. At this point, Jeff, I'm genuinely trying to find that as well. At this point, I still have some confidence it will happen. It's just a case of when, and I don't know. I can't imagine when. Is the sad part about it. I just can't imagine when at all. But for his sake, I hope so, and for our sake as well. Because, like I say, I really do genuinely believe. That if he was to refine that form, he could be such a huge moment. That's good. That's good. Thank you. That's good. That's actually good intel, Wally. Thank you. Oh my God, Wally. Wally's actually done me an incredible solid here. Right, now I can update this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in. We're here. The North Idaho TV network has warmed up. We've moved the aerial about. We've wobbled it a bit. And now we're going. Now we're on. West Ham passing the ball around. Let's see if actually... Oh, he's all coming up Charlie right now. Right, let's get rid of all this. Yeah, I can't get that one either, Dean. We'll stick with this one. We found one, and we're sticking with it. We're here. Thank you, Dean, by the way. It's massively appreciate you sending it to me. I can't get it to work for some reason either. If you are looking for a way to watch the games today, there are definitely ways you can do it. Scroll down to the link in the description below. There's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. Fans of all clubs are welcome, of course. But more importantly, scroll on the left-hand side. There's a bit there called Stream Links, which you'll find what you're looking for. So, Everton playing the ball around at the back. Formation is exactly how we would expect it to be. Everton concede the corner. It's going to be from the right-hand side. Out swinger potentially, unless Jarrod Bowen comes across to take it, like he did in the last game, which was interesting. But yeah, which he does. Jarrod Bowen standing over it. James Ward-Prowse is a short option if he wants it. I find it interesting that we've converted on that side to... it might be... Maybe it's just... I don't know. Maybe it's just my computer. I don't know. I have no idea, mate. I have no idea. Oh, Emerson, that's a nice flick on. Paqueta with the volley. Can't get any sort of purchase on it, and it goes well wide. But yeah, I feel like there's an interesting story to be told about the fact that from the right hand side we've now reverted to Jarrod Bowen taking the corners as opposed to James Ward-Prowse. I think it's an admittance or something, however you want to word it, that the James Ward-Prowse experiment from that it's just not really been working, which is weird because I've always preferred his corners from that side, although that's just because he doesn't aim it at the same spot every single time. But I don't know. It's interesting, is all I'll say. Who forward Kurt Zuma gets his head solidly on that one. Kudus, nice control. Look to maybe try and stretch the play. Instead, decides to pass it backwards. Who's counting? Who's counting? It's like 13:40 when I logged on, so, you know. I appreciate you all for hanging out, by the way, this entire time. If you stuck with us through all of that, I massively appreciate it. Oh, see, look, the match bingo's going, man. I'm telling you, that bottom line looks immensely doable. Immensely doable. The middle line for me has right-footed goal awarded, so that's whatever. The top line could be doable as well, but it requires us to do 3 subs. But that bottom line feels just doable for me. Alvarez doing well there. Go on, Edson, yes. Just battling for it, taking the ball past several people, just going on one. Poor pass from Paqueta. Overhit there over the top of Sufal. Pickford coming far out of his line to get involved, in line with the centre-backs there to get involved with the passing play. Under pressure, pressing relatively well there. Forcing him to go long. That's poorly done. Also, and that's poorly done from both sides. Thomas Souček clearing up the mess. Paul White. White. Wallace. Hello from the Caribbean. Hello. I hope you're enjoying it. Hope the weather's decent. So far, that's not a bad ball in as well, but there's just no one there. And Godfrey, it bounces off his chest. It's going to be a corner to West Ham. It's going to be a corner to West Ham. They do seem very on edge right now. This does seem to be somewhat of... There's some frustration definitely going on there. I can play BBC sounds now. Well, I was trying to find if it was on any of the local radio stations. James Ward-Prowse to take the corner. This time from the left-hand side. Again, going for another in-swinger, but there is a short option of Emerson there. Interesting corner kick routine. Also, Souček starting from a different position, starting from deep, putting it towards him. Header! Oh! Mavropanos just wide. Just wide. in swinger, but from again, aiming sort of relatively close to where we usually do, but just a little bit out from it. It was interesting that we've got some sort of different corner kick routines going on now. We've got the sort of both in swingers. I mean, James Ward-Prowse still taking the in swingers from the left-hand side, but you just always have that short option with the opposite foot. You have Emerson on the left-hand side, and you have James Ward-Prowse on the right. And then you've got the Thomas Souček starting from a much deeper position. He would usually start from sort of almost in the goal, just behind the goalkeeper, sometimes literally in the goal, and then would move just in front right as the corner comes in and try to sort of flick it on from there. But starting from a completely different position today is interesting. Is very interesting. Again, a positive sign for me because, I mean, if you watch more of the watch logs, you'll know how much I find the corner kicks very frustrating and our set piece routines very frustrating. I've just realised, just a yank, I never put your name in the top corner, so give me 1 second and I'll be doing that. Here we go. Just a yank. Thank you very much for the super chat. Massively appreciate it, bro. Sorry for it taking so long. I apologise for it taking so long. I have West Ham 4 subs, no win or match bingo for me. Yeah, I had the similar one a couple of days ago, Stephen. It was like one of the only ones on the board by the end I didn't have. Everton trying to pass it around. Big ball forward. Player goes down under pressure from Soufal. No foul, says the referee. Soufal under some pressure himself pulls out a poor pass from good work from Beto. And Everton regain possession in a high, in an advanced position. They have a lot of work to do from there though, and they end up kind of slowly but surely sort of passing it around. Jack Harrison wide on the right hand side. Someone I wouldn't have minded West Ham go for in the summer, to be honest. It's not a bad ball in. Well, Beto challenges fresh volley from Everton was a great opportunity. Michaelenko, but drags it well wide. Yeah, I like Harrison. I don't think he would have been a game changer or anything. But as someone, we need some wide players, we need some hard workers. I quite like him. Someone who could be a squad player for us. I would have been keen for it. But the ball lands to Michaelenko, who goes for the spectacular, completely mishits it. It is what it is. Soufal nods it forward. Big head tennis going on at the moment. Lots of pinball bouncing. Thomas Souček looking to try and get physical with Beto. Onana plays it out wide. Harrison looking for the Godfrey overlap. Nicely done from Emerson. And Paqueta. It was a little bit clumsy there. And Harrison maybe feeling worse off for it. It did look a little bit clumsy, and I feel like it's one of those ones where if he went down, he might have got a free kick there. But to be fair to him, he stayed on his feet. It does look harsh. It's going to be a throw into West Ham regardless. Did I say scrag? I meant drag. Did I say scrag? Sounds like something I would have said. Emerson taken out by Takore. Going to be a free kick to us. Everton have had a single shot so far. West Ham have had 4 with 1 on target. Kudus loses out. Oh, Souček stretched out there. Referee waves play on. Or advantage, I should say. Onana from range looking to strike it. It was very bold. An easy block from Alvarez, and it ends up collected from Areola. Often how I think about it. It does seem to be going relatively quick though, I can't lie. Sorry, I can only apologise. I can only apologise. From the bits I've seen, David, I would say yes. Not in the same, not in this, not completely and utterly, but yes, I would think we'd be, from what I've seen, bearing in mind that's been about 10 minutes, I would say we have been the better team, yes. But it's difficult to say because Everton feel like they're coming back into it now. It's also a difficult game to say. Yeah, Pickford getting really far forward. It's also it's also a difficult one today from terms of it's a good opportunity for Everton hit from Beto, straight save from Areola, straight. It was relatively close to him. Everton creating an opportunity, just passing it straight through the middle. It felt like McNeil ends up finding Beto, who hits it and again just directly at Areola. Tarkowski to McNeil to Beto. I mean, it's as straight as you want passing. Just no, this ain't Man City. There was no inventiveness to this. It was just bop through the middle, and Beto shot thankfully directly at Areola. But we're coming under a bit of pressure now. And that's going to be a free kick to Everton, about 25 yards away from goal. Zuma on Beto. Yeah, like I said, like I was about to say. I was going to say that I felt like it's also a difficult game today, given the fact we have Europe coming up, where there's something in the back of the mind about like how much can we commit to this? You know, when we talk about the pressing, for example, like it's an incredibly tiring process trying to press a team, and how much can we commit to it? When do you commit to it? Do you commit to it early in the game and then tire yourself out and then leave yourself sort of vulnerable later on? Do you pick and choose where you do it throughout the game in specific instances? You leave it and then do it later in the game. All of these things, like when you have a European game where, let's be real, if we're not playing almost this exact same 11 in Europe, barring maybe one or two changes, I would have zero confidence in us winning the game. It becomes, especially from the frontline perspective, like especially with those front players, like you're playing in Europe, you're playing Danny Ings, you're playing Mikel Antonio to some extent, anyone else really, headed away from Alvarez, bounces back down, it becomes a big worry. And so how much, oh my god, Everton, oh, I thought I was in. Jesus Christ, what just happened? I felt like I was in. Kudus gets the ball tangled up within him and it's going to be an Everton throw. They're doing well right now, Everton. They're doing well right now, Everton. But yeah, it becomes a really interesting question. Then it's my bad, Mark. My bad. I have not Gravy Dave. I have not. Although having said that, I also haven't seen Dune 1 or the originals. So I'm quite far behind. Although I did watch the director. I can't remember the director's name of the recent ones. I did watch. He did the Blade Runner film. The second Blade. He did Blade Runner 20, whatever the year was, 2049 or whatever it was. The latest Blade Runner film, and that film is good looking. And that is a beautiful film. So if it's anything like that, I suspect visually I would be very, very happy about Dune, ignoring anything else. But anyway, I do remember you. I hope you're well, bro. Do you think we'll win in Europa League? Yes, I do. But there is some level of concern in the back of my mind. But in general, yes, I do. Yeah, don't get me wrong, Richard. I'm not gonna skip to Dune 2. I'm gonna have to watch Dune 1 at some point. And maybe even the originals. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. Emerson does well to take it past Godfrey. Godfrey does well to get back on the strong side and wins a goal kick from it. There was a moment there where Emerson managed to nutmeg Godfrey and looked like he was going to be able to play something into the box, but Godfrey did really well to recover. I'll tell you what. It was a nice idea. They played it very quickly there, Everton, but Michaelenko just ends up slipping over and it goes out for a throw into us about on the halfway line on the right hand side. But it was a moment. It was very exciting. Emerson's down. I don't know what happened. He seemed to be okay when he seemed to be okay when he left. When the initial sort of connection happened between him and or the you know, the confrontation, let's say. That makes it sound more angry than it was. Basically, when he nutmegged Godfrey, and it didn't work out. He seemed to be okay. He seemed to be moving completely normally, but at this point he's gone down injured. Heitinger and Moyes are deep in conversation. He's receiving treatment on the field right now. So I don't know what's wrong with him. Read the book, Dune first. That I will. That I won't. Listen, I'll never get around to reading the book. I'm terrible at catching up on reading stuff, so I'm gonna. I feel like that's just bold for me, you know. So we'll see. Hopefully Emerson's okay, because that's a big worry. They're putting some he's rubbing some cream on his knee. Looks like some Vaseline type stuff. Has that really fixed it? Is that all that we needed here? He's what's happened here, right? Let me describe this to you, okay? So he's down on the floor, Emerson, in pain. Ouch. Injured. They're like prodding his leg and stuff, right? Now imagine this part of my wrist. Imagine this is his knee. He's got a bit of Vaseline, and he's just gone. So it's just a bit on there, or what looks like Vaseline. And then he's just got up and walked off as if it was nothing. Anyway, see if I have to take the throw. As per usual, it's a terrible throw because it's West Ham and Everton getting the ball back. So I'm surprised that he seems to be back on and moving now, which God knows what's going on. I don't know, that's Paqueta. Not a bad ball in, to be fair, but yeah. But yeah, God knows. God knows. Emerson nods it down. So not Emerson. Zuma nods it down for Paqueta. I'm thinking about Emerson. Oh, nice little 1-2 there between him and Alvarez. Emerson tries a big crossfield pass to Mohammed Kudus. Hopefully Emerson is okay, because that's a huge problem for us if he's not. So foul, back to Ward-Prowse, across to Edson Alvarez. And we're just playing it around at the moment. Playing it around on the right-hand side, looking to try and find a bit of space. It was a nice little link-up play going into that. Ends up being a throw to us on the right-hand side, but a nice little link-up play. Listen, I don't know. I'm no medic, but it looked like Vaseline to me. But it didn't. It's this generation's magic sponge. The consistency didn't seem Vaseline-y, but he applied it as if it was. Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. You're not wrong at all. Hooks back forward by Alvarez, looking to try and just punt it into the area. Just battling for it. Kudus hasn't been good so far. I'll be real with you. It's not been good. Harrison looking to ping it over the top for Beto. Ariola commits to coming out to that one and completely slices it. Jarrod Bowen looking to try and press, but he's by himself. James Ward-Prowse is getting involved. Kudus in a position. McNeil looking to try and get the play through to Mikalenko. Easily cut off from Mavropanos, but maybe a little bit panicky and ends up punting it into row Z. I don't think he necessarily needs to. When he overlapped McNeil. Hits the side netting. They're all claiming. Well, initially, I think it was going to be a goal kick there, and all the Everton players complained, and now it's going to be a corner. So, who knows? Who knows? Big deflection of Sufal. I don't know why whatever happened just happened, but there we go. Yeah, I don't think we'll have Kudus for long either, to be honest, Mike, and I'm sort of okay with that. If we keep him for 2 seasons, sell him for 100 mil, I mean, that's a huge positive, right? I mean, we sell him, make a profit, even just make a profit on him. That's a huge successful. That's a huge job for us. Oh, that's nice play from Everton down the right-hand side. Well blocked, and then Souček diving header away. Kudus charging after that one. This is great. Kudus play. Here we go. He's off. Afterburners are fully on. He's got the options really aren't there. James Ward-Prowse is trying to create some space, and Kudus didn't really have anything. He tries to claim a handball off the cross from the Everton player. It says no. It says the ref. Ben Godfrey didn't do that. Oh, that's beautifully done by Soufal. Love that from Soufal. Little back heel. It's a good cross into the box. There just wasn't anyone in that position. I tell you what, the play wasn't bad, but yeah, doesn't end up working out. I tell you what, I liked it though. I liked it. We're going to be getting Dragon's Dogma 2. Another thing I haven't played the first of, Jeff. I need to play the first one. I did actually get my PS3 from my mum's this week, and set it up and started playing PS3 games. Started playing FIFA 2008 and FIFA Street, the 2012 one, among other things. But I want to play the original Dragon's Dogma. I have it. I've just never got around to it. But I really want to. And I can't decide whether I'm going to try to before Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out, because I know what's going to happen. Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to come out, and it's going to be getting rave reviews, and I'm going to really be tempted to go and try and get involved. But I feel like I should play it first, even though I know I probably won't need to. But yeah, I do. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Are you going to get it, Jeff? Mikalenko cuts on the inside. Shot was tame, cleared away. Yeah, Everton are fully on top, I think, at this point. We're getting opportunities, but we're just not. They're just not coming together quite. It's going to be a free kick to us. Thank you very much. Easy as you like, Decore on Paqueta. Paqueta with some choice words for Decore. Don't know what he was saying. He looked very, very frustrated by the entire scenario. But yeah, it feels like Everton are being more effective right now. We're getting opportunities to counter, and we're getting opportunities to do stuff, but it always feels just a little bit too stretched. The options aren't necessarily where we want them to be. Whereas about 10 minutes ago, there was that 10-minute period where it did feel like we were on top, and we were pushing and pressing in an interesting way. Whereas this feels to have displayed as a poor pass from Edson Alvarez, and Everton get the chance to counter attack here. And like I say, I just feel like this Everton team it's just not the tactics we like playing against. Decore just bit of a wobbly dribble, but he still has the ball regardless. Plays it wide to McNeil on the left. Deflected cross. It's going to be a corner to Everton. The Bloodless says, Kudus would be great in an all-out attacking team, but loses the ball and everyone has to track back. They're knackered. Yes and no. Yes and no. I feel like the counter-attack suits him. I feel like playing a very counter-attacking team suits him because it gives him the space to do whatever he wants. I just think I'll be real with you today. I just don't think he's playing that well. Just is what it is. Bloody hell, Areola committed to that one as the ball comes in and tries to punch it, completely misses it, and thankfully there's no Everton players there. They still do have possession of the ball. They've recycled it back into that corner position. Dwight McNeil's there. Tries to take on Jarrod Bowen, who easily outdoes him. Good work, Jarrod. Very, very good work. Why you're in that position, I have no idea, but love that. On the flick around, that's going to be a play on from the ref. Advantage played since the ball lands at the feet of Kudus, but it was a foul. And he plays it to Paqueta, back to Kudus. Nicely flicked out wide. Then a misunderstanding between Ward-Prowse and I think it was Emerson, and it breaks down and it's going to be an Everton throw. I didn't really pay much attention to him, if I'm being honest. I saw sort of vaguely what he said, but without really listening to it properly. I don't really want to talk. I don't really want to say one way or the other. I will say this though. I think Jamie Carragher's a good pundit. You know, I think Jamie Carragher's a good pundit, and I think some of the stuff he's been doing, especially on Monday Night Football recently, has been really good. And I think the Monday Night Football sort of experiment of a single game where you can really focus in and talk about it in deep detail and have people actually fully analyze it, I think is good work. And I think he's doing good stuff there. But I didn't watch it properly, and I haven't seen it properly, so I probably shouldn't say anything. Six-minute poor pass, Kudus intercepts. 6 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Looks to try to take it past his man. I'll be honest with you, I don't think he meant that, but he comes away with the ball anyway, and that's a beautiful spray pass out to the wide left-hand side. Phillips finds Lucas Paqueta. Emerson's on the overlap. Paqueta does really well to keep hold of it. Ends up being found. West Ham keep possession of the ball. Look, it's happening today. I'm feeling it. A right-footed goal for either side right now. Get a right-footed goal for Everton. I've got literally all of Everton's done. Get a right-footed goal for us and we're on the way. In fact, a right-footed goal for Everton. 3 minutes of stoppage time. And then I've got a row. I've got a row done. That's all I need. I'm here. I'm in trouble. Is that what it was? What was it? Was that the words? What was the first word spoken on the telephone? Was it, come here, I'm in trouble? I can't remember now. Easily played around there from Everton into space for Mykolenko to cross it in. That's where we want it to be. Let them play themselves into that space for those wide crosses. We can deal with those. Kudus taken down. It's going to be a free kick. Thank you very much. Mavropanos to take the free kick in our half, just before the halfway line, fires it. Wasn't super accurately, and oh, that's a beautiful kick from Pickford. That is an unreal kick from Pickford, and they are through once. Well, not through, but that was again very direct from Everton. They do it so fast as well. It's something I'm so jealous of. And that kick from Pickford was beautiful. Dropping it, low angle, driven, about half the length of the pitch, pinpoint accurate. That was beautiful stuff. Big shouts for handball from Everton there. I'll be honest with you, too pixelated to really tell on first viewing whether or not it was, but big shouts from both the team and the crowd. Everton now passing around the halfway line. I don't know what's happened. The referee stopped it. Is he going across the VAR? Okay, so it hits his. I think he's going to check. It hits his arm. I would say no pen, personally. I would say no pen. I think it's really, really close to Zuma. So the shot comes in, and it does hit Zuma. The thing is, he sort of turned. His arm comes out to about here. It hits here. To me, it doesn't feel like he's trying to stop it with his arm, but you can't say it doesn't hit his arm. It's incredibly close. It's really, really close. Beto or Decore, I'm not sure who it was who hits it, and it hits Zuma's hand. The fact that they've called it across means it's probably going to get given as a penalty. The fact that they've called it back across, he's looked at it enough times. Yeah, he's given a pen. He's given a pen. I disagree with it. I disagree with it. I mean, it is very clearly a handball. It does hit his hand in that sense. But for me, I don't think it's a handball. I think it's too close to him. It's too fast hit at him. I don't think he means it. I don't think... I don't know. For me personally, I don't think it's a penalty. But the referee has given it after VAR. And we have Areola in goal. So this is as good as a goal. Beto, one game in, what was it, 2021? I think he's about to get a second one. Areola, not exactly a penalty saver. It's big pressure on Beto. Commentators were just saying him playing ahead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and stuff, who's obviously in equally bad form. It's a big call to play him. Steps up, hits it. Areola, come on. Areola gets the save. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it would happen. I can't act like I've ever seen it. But Areola makes the save. Oh, Christ, he's got us out of a hole there. He has got us out of a hole there. Huge calls on Beto. So stressed for him to actually have to take that. Thank Christ for that. Areola continues his beautiful form and actually saves a penalty. Mad. Wait, now that's getting looked at by VAR. What's going on here? I mean, 4 added minutes of added time, which means that should be getting that. Okay, VAR has said no, it's fine. Good. I was going to say, because to be honest with you, he seemed on his line for longer than most people do when I see him taking penalties. I'll be honest with you. He seemed on his line longer than I usually see him. So the fact that it got pulled back was slightly shocking, but still, that's somehow going to be a handball. But there we go. Was it a bad pen? I don't think it was a bad pen. It wasn't very hard. I will say that, Luca. I don't think he struck it with any real venom. He sort of stepped up and tried to just sort of place it into the bottom corner. The positioning was fair enough. It could be more in the corner, but of course it always could be. But I think the big thing is he just doesn't hit it hard enough. Pinged forward from that free kick from Pickford, as Geo said, just driven from the halfway line, looking to try and get it in there. Goes over the top of everyone. I feel sorry for Beto. He looks not happy. He doesn't look happy. Zuma is still on the pitch, yeah, he is. I don't think he was given a card or anything. Or I didn't see it anyway. Two more minutes of stoppage time. David Moyes is screaming at someone about something. He's distraught about something. Big ping forward. Cancelled out from Zuma. Free kick against Jarrod Bowen. Cutting a frustrated figure right now. It's probably the way I would explain it. It's probably the way I would explain it. Headed away. Kudus battles with it. He sort of manages to get his head onto it. Turns McNeil. Gets away from him nicely. And that's a good pass forward. Nicely done from Kudus. Really nicely done. He's gotten better as the half gone on, in my opinion. Nicely done from Emerson to collect the ball from where Paqueta failed. Back into the path of Paqueta and then back to Emerson. This is nicely done. There's just not really any options. There's no options. Bowen's gone out wide and it's just nothing there. Kudus takes a utterly pointless shot from range. We thankfully still have possession after a deflection, but such a wasted opportunity there. Sufal looking to try and cross that ball in from a deep position. Angling wasn't bad, but Suchek near him as opposed to being in the box where you want it. Now Sufal's hobbling. This is never good. Never good. Gary says Zoom's the most reliable defender. The young ones make a lot of errors. I would disagree, but I don't think we have any reliable defenders right now. That's not a bad ball in from Kudus. It was whipped in, but Zuma can't get his head into it. I would say we have no reliable defenders right now. I think Mavropanos is probably our most reliable. He makes mistakes, but he is at least winning his fights, whereas the rest of them just aren't right now. Zuma should be our most reliable. There is the halftime whistle. Zuma should be most reliable, but at the moment isn't. He's out. He's in my opinion all out of whack form wise. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. First half down, and a missed penalty from Everton. And it's 0-0. 0-0. Like I say, I think penalty wise, don't get me wrong, I've seen better. The positioning was fine, but he just doesn't hit it with anywhere near enough venom, and Aurelio can get on the end of it. But yeah, a stressful half. I think at times we've looked really good, and then a lot of the time we've just seemed a bit overawed by the situation. And there's times where I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like Geo. There's times where I think there's times in that half where we've looked quite good, and then there's times where we've just looked like we have no idea what we're doing. It certainly isn't the same performance we saw in the last game. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I think it's two rubbish teams, to be honest with you. I think it's two really sloppy teams, and despite our win, we look like a team that hasn't won in 9, rather than won in 9 and winning our previous game. It looks like two teams that are formed, two teams with a few players with not much confidence in them as well. I think it's quite a sloppy game, actually. I think they've had the best opportunity, not the pen, in open play with Beto. That ball from McNeil was good. Mavropanos with a half chance. And I think they started brightly. Then we sort of had 10, 15 minutes where we were the team on top and they struggled to get to the half. But then it's got a little bit end-to-end and scrappy for the final 10, 15 minutes of that game. And we'll see who it suits.
I will say this about Everton. One thing that really impresses me is how when Pickford has the ball or whatever, they're so fast with it. They really do just waste. They collect the ball and there's no time. You know that thing where like they've got a replay showing up and then the replay comes back and the ball's already in play somewhere and you're like, hang on, what's going on here? How's this happened? It happens almost every single time with them. That one where Pickford drops it, kicks it, super low trajectory, just straight out, pinpoint perfect to the halfway line, and then that bang, then straight through ball back to Beto. Like 2 passes within 2 seconds and within Beto. And it's just it's something I don't understand why we don't do.
Pickford always says calm down. Pickford always does this calm down thing. So he'll just say to people, come on, calm down. Then someone will roll it back to him. He'll just flick it, launch it. And I'm like, you're the least calmest person on the pitch. But his deliveries are fantastic for the goalkeeper. It's like, you know, we talk about Jarrod and Liverpool have got Van Dijk. Well, Everton have got that in their goalkeeper where he becomes a third centre-back, essentially. He comes in, sits in between the two of them at times. But his deliveries are usually quite precise, like you say, quite quick. And they've usually got quite a bit of pace on them as well. So it's not getting lofted slowly so that the defenders can get in front of their man. Actually, it's hit with a little bit of pace. And it's almost like quite difficult to control sometimes, but it makes it difficult to defend against as well.
Yeah. Well, I shall be back in a couple of minutes, Gio.
Cheers, Charlie. Right, let's see what you are all saying. Richard's in Pickford telling people to calm down. It does as well. It just amuses me. It's calm down. Launch. Dean says Pickford can half ping a ball. Read a statement. Most of his passes hit the box. They're not launches, really. Stevie said it'd been decent compared to the last 8 games before Brentford. It's not that bad, but I just think it's a game screaming out for a player of quality. Mancunian said 2 sides lacking quality. Not sure what we can do to change the game in our favour. At the moment, I don't see us winning this. We'd take a point. Peter's asking where Bowen was. Running between Branthwaite, Tarkowski and Pickford somewhere. Bale says just run and run, don't they? A lot of Everton boys. Kudus, Emerson, Paqueta and Alvarez giving them the run around though. I think Alvarez is looking really good in midfield. Really, really good. Breezy's saying he thinks Souček's playing well. Charlie says, don't know why we're obsessed with crosses. The average height of our attack is about 4'3". Ian says, wasn't a penalty. Kudus put it in, hit their bloke's hand. Why wasn't that penalty? See, that's the one thing. I haven't seen a replay of that one that hit Godfrey, so I couldn't comment on it. But it seemed a bit of a harsh one to give against Kurt Zouma as well. Chris says Paqueta's been poor. We need to get Bowen in the game. Mo and Soufal have been good. Mancunian says another game where we cannot get Bowen into the game. Take Ward-Prowse off, bring on Antonio, and we might go for it. We might as well. Scott saying Moyes has gone back to his shackles on. I didn't really see the shackles off against Brentford, to be honest with you. I think we played that way plenty of games. We just took our chances early on. What I will say, I think the shackles are back on Thomas Souček, though. I think the big significant difference for me on Monday compared to tonight is Thomas Souček getting forward. On Monday against Brentford, he was in that box plenty of times. The first 2 minutes before we made it 1-0, he missed a really good opportunity. I don't recall him being in the box much, if at all, in this game so far. So shackles on, I would apply it to Thomas Souček in particular. I think we're just lacking quality in terms of Kudus is getting on the ball a lot, but I haven't really seen him do anything with it. I think Bowen's struggling to get into the game. Paqueta has done some nice 1-2s with Emerson, but he's had a couple of chances now to release a final ball, Paqueta, and they haven't really been up to much. Ward-Prowse is chasing shadows a little bit for me in there. I think Alvarez looks like our most composed player at the minute, and Zuma's just giving me the bloody heebie-jeebies, truth be told. Ironix is saying, why didn't the ref go back and boot the player that fouled Alvarez? He knows. Yeah, there's been a couple of them. James Garner took out Jarrod Bowen as well. Then Kudus ran away with it, so he played on, which was good, but he didn't go back. And Onana tried to take out Kudus. That one when Kudus ran away and Godfrey hit Godfrey in the hand. Onana tried to take him out the halfway line, and Kudus skipped past it. So he played advantage, right thing to do. But this is why, if you ever want proof as to why forward players dive, here's your proof, because Kudus stayed on his feet and the player doesn't get punished. Had Kudus went down, that was a booking all day long. But because Kudus is honest, stays up, continues the attack, it's easy to ignore the foul that just happened. So there's been a couple where I think Everton have been a bit late and we've got off with it a little bit. Brandon says, a tough watch. We look very nervous. Many misplaced passes. Paqueta looks woeful. Shame we don't play him in the middle. Not getting Kudus on the ball nearly enough. Mancunian's asking if we make a sub. Yes, I would sub. Ward-Prowse for Antonio and put Antonio on the left. Would I put Antonio on the left up front and move Bowen? Possibly for now, I'd leave Bowen up front, not because he's playing well, but because I'd like to see Bowen up front with Paqueta behind him and see if we can make a difference that way. So I would take off Ward-Prowse and take on Mikel Antonio probably, and then put Antonio left and move Paqueta into the middle, just to see if we can, because we're trying all these crosses, and as people have commented already, it's a little bit pointless. For the last 5-10 minutes, I think Bowen stopped going in the 18-yard, or the last cross Soufal had. It was only Paqueta who was in the middle. Bowen was now on the edge of 18-yard. It was like he's got a bit fed up trying to win anything, understandably. So I'd like to try and take a different approach. Instead of whipping the crosses in, try and get it to Paqueta in the centre of the pitch. And look, he's good at winning fouls. Saying that, I've just subbed off my free kick taker, haven't I? Hammer Boy said, obviously need a change. Ward-Prowse for Antonio, Zouma for a good. Yeah, the Zouma good one. I understand. I would probably go Ogbonna. I think, is he on the bench? Yeah, he is. That's fine. I would probably go Ogbonna because I think the aerial battle that's going on between Beto and Zouma, I'd get nervous if it was Beto against Jarrod. I'm not saying Zuma's doing well, by the way, but that's why I'd go for Ogbonna. Richard removed Kudus to number 10. Joe thinks Ward-Prowse need to be more attacking. Leo would put Bowen on the right, Kudus on the left, Antonio up top, and Paqueta in the left centre midfield spot. So he's still with Emerson. Chris says we're too afraid of Everton. Fred said ref keeps talking to Everton players, need to touch show. I agree. The Everton fans don't like Posson for some reason. I'm not sure why. I know Everton fans aren't keen on him. Bro said he sure Brighton are playing lovely football. We're getting pumped by Fulham. I've seen it was 2-0 down, which is good for us, but arguably it's good for us. It means at the minute we're going above Brighton, but the bad thing is Fulham are now closer to us. Tom says Ward-Prowse too often looks for Soufal when he has a chance to cross him slightly deeper. Yeah, I agree with that one. Bill thinks the crossing's pointless. Tarkowski and Branthwaite aren't going to be losing anything to Jarrod Bowen. GT says Ward-Prowse in game effectively on average is very poor. We need to get Kudus into the game. Mark says we're 8th with things stand. Oh, I know Newcastle are winning, so they would go above us. But we go above Brighton, don't we? With our point, if we were to get the point. Hammer Boy says Ward-Prowse is too slow and safe. Chris says it's a bit rubbish in the first half. Steve said apart from hard work, Ward-Prowse offers very little in open play. Eskimo's visual radio is struggling. There's someone doing a good sliding clearance at one point. I haven't seen a sliding goal clearance. Mine's struggling as well, my visual radio. It's not struggling. There's just a lot of adverts today for some reason. I know, I understand the irony on a YouTube channel complaining about adverts, but we're not streaming the game here. There's a lot of pop-ups, and when you click the X, it's like, well, hey, come on over here. You want to buy this? I'm like, no, close that. Go back, click the X again. Hey, you want cheap prostitutes in your local area? No, don't want any of them. But maybe later. Offer me it later. Close down. Back to the game. Anyway, there you go.
But there's singles in your area, Gio. What do we do? How do you think it's going to go? Because I'm becoming increasingly confident about my 0-0. I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, I would be as well if I were you. I think there's a goal in this. I think there's a goal in this. I'm not sure who for at this point. For some reason, I was confident they weren't scoring the pen. You know, when they got the pen, and I was thinking, oh no. And when I saw Better taking, I thought, well, get in. I thought, look, he's the last player I'd be giving it to be honest with you. A guy that scored 1 goal in 21 games as a striker and who's missed a couple of really good chances in the game already. He's the last person I'd be handing that ball to. And why Hardison isn't thundering that one down the back of the net, I don't know. But yeah, I've got a feeling there's a goal, Charlie. The thing is, I think this game is screaming out for one player to do something, just like individual star quality, whether it's the pass or the finish. This game is just waiting. It might be Dwight McNeil's cross and Tarkowski's header. It's just waiting for one piece of quality. I think we've got more players capable of doing that one piece of individual brilliance.
That's true.
But their set pieces terrify me. I think this game's finishing 1-0, but I just cannot call who's getting it. And Jules says 1-0 Souček. I can't see it. Souček, when you were gone, someone said, are the shackles back on? I don't think they are. I think they're back on Souček, though. It's not necessarily the team.
Yeah,
Monday night, Souček was in that 18-yarder loads. I'm not seeing him in there at all today.
There was that moment where Soufal went across the ball and Souček was literally next to him. And
they ran into each other. And
no one was in the box.
But yeah, I just, I don't think it'll be Souček that scores. I think, I don't know. Maybe Antonio winner. It's hard to see it, truth be told. Both managers will bring on Antonio and Calvert-Lewin. I don't think either manager will be doing it with confidence of coming on to get the winner. It'll be a roll of the dice or a roll of the dice. Well, hey, there you go. There's your headline in the back paper if it works for Calvert-Lewin. But I think there's a goal, Charlie.
I would be shocked if Calvert-Lewin didn't come on, just because Beto looked like after that miss, he just looked shot to pieces. And there was a moment where, like a minute later, it zoomed in on him and you could just see him like dejected as all hell. And the worst thing you want when a striker isn't in form is to also look utterly dejected. And so you would probably switch him out. But that sounded like,
the game's there for the taking, Charlie. The problem is the game's there for the taking for either side. Either team can go on and win this. We're not fantastic. I think, like I said, I think two poor teams out there at the minute, and I think both teams have got quite a lot of gears they could go up. Whoever does it quickest probably goes and wins this game, because I wouldn't fancy either side to get back into it. If we take the lead, I think we'll win. If they take the lead, I think we'll lose. I can't see either side having enough about them to overturn a 1-0 deficit in the second half. Defensively, not great. Both teams have conceded chances, but the finishing's been poor on both teams.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Geo, I shall see you again at full time for the review. And ladies and gentlemen, Geo will be back then for full knowledge, smart things, as opposed to the absolute nonsense that I say. So make sure to stick around until then. But until then, we have 45 more minutes of that excitement to come as West Ham are away 0-0 against Everton at half-time. Like I say, I'm becoming more and more confident of my 0-0. The longer this game goes on, I feel like Everton have been the better team. I can't lie, from what I've seen, I feel like they've been the better team for longer. Having said that, as Gio said, it's not like we haven't had our chances, and realistically, it could very much work out for us. All we need is one thing to happen, and we get a goal. You know, Kudus to make an amazing run, finds Soufal on the overlap, and then bang, whip it in. Souček, if he actually gets in there, it'd be a beautiful thing, right? It'd be interested to see what happens. The second half is about to get underway. The teams are making their way back out. While we do that, I would point us in the direction of Match Bingo, our sponsor, of course. Lovely app, new app. It is betting, so over 18s allowed only. But you get a little bingo card like this with different events for the match. You have the home side, both teams, and then the away side. What they can do, if you get some lines, you get some money. Bonus pot of £100, a double full house available today for the Everton West Ham. It is £2 to play, and like I say, it is over 18s only. But I'm genuinely confident. If one of the teams gets a right-footed goal right now, then all of a sudden it's looking likely for me. The teams are back out. I don't think there's been any changes that I can see. Not that I can see anyway. It's going to be a difficult one. I should say thank you to Dave. I didn't see if this was when it was me or Geo. I did see this one though, the Oxby as well. Thank you very much for $1.99. I'll get both of your names up in the top. Second half, we got this. Ings to win the game for us. Bold, Oxby. Bold. I'll get both of those in the top in a second. But come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run two things. It's time to run two things indeed. Be interested to see if there is any differences in play. There are no differences in men on the pitch, I will say that. No changes at half-time for either side. Everton trying to work the ball forward. Play it out wide to Harrison. There you go. Names both up at the top corner. Thank you very much, guys. Massively appreciate it. Everton, huge shouts for a penalty, I think, against Soufal. Garner there. Stu, my G, how are you, bro? I hope you're good. I'm alright. I've got a runny nose, bit of a cold, but apart from that, I'm all good. How are you, bro? Good to see you. I was talking earlier about Jack Harrison, how much I like him and how I would have taken him at West Ham. But like I say, there are bells available, everyone. If you need them, if you want them, they are there. Well, that's not a bad ball, but the secondary pass from Mikalenko is. Thankfully, the second is. Listen, I've been well for a little while now. But we're back at it again. We're back at it again now, but I've been well for a little while. Yeah, what do you call it? Bingo-wise, I'm telling you I'm doing all right. I've got 2 lines now, which are only 2 off. All I need is a right-footed goal from either side, and then I'll be 1 off. That's all I need. A right-footed goal from either side, and then 3 minutes of injury time at the end of the match. Or a yellow card to be shown on a minute ending in 5. It could happen. Kudus always hitting a Slumdog Millionaire. Or Slumdog Millionaire, I should say. Full RKO out of nowhere. Managed just to roll across over the top and then almost managed to hit it. It was a beautiful thing. Take vitamin D. Yeah. Do you know what it is? I used to have this vitamin D spray that you spray once on your tongue and it gave you like your daily amount of vitamin D or whatever. But it started to make me feel sick, so I had to stop taking it. But I do need to... You're not wrong. You're not wrong, really. You're not wrong. Ironically, I got the cold when I went outside into the sun, so... That's how it goes, isn't it? That's how it goes. Looking at Dominic Calvert-Lewin on a bench, menacingly. Like a Roman emperor. Like that, you know what I mean? he probably looked less perturbed than I just made him out to look. Godfrey looks to try and whip that ball in, hits Paqueta first man. James Ward-Prowse loses out in a headed battle. Shot from range, Jesus Christ, from Dwight McNeil was good. And Areola matches it. But Dwight McNeil on a turn snap shot was really nice. Really, really nice. Cross comes in, deflects off Paqueta. It's going to be a throw into Everton. That was a really nice... That was awesome. I didn't know Dwight McNeil had it in him. Just first time on the turn, left foot, bang, hits it. I tell you what, it's a good shot. Areola matches it, but it's good. Big ball over the top there from Everton doesn't work out. It's going to be a goal kick to West Ham. Short goal kick back to Areola, who for some reason we allowed to take long kicks like they ever work. Everton win the ball back, obviously. Areola's long kicking is awful, by the way. I love Areola. There's so many things I love about Areola. I love Areola about literally everything apart from penalty saves, which went well today, and long kicks, which just never go well. They're the only 2 holes in his game. Oh, and communication. He needs better communication. They're the 3 things. Everything outside of that, I love Areola. But notably, just don't let him kick it long because he's awful. I'll tell you what, Alvarez gets stuck in there. It doesn't work out, but I like to see it. Dwight McNeil tries to float it across. And again, Areola easily collects that. Easily collects it. He looks to try to play it slightly quicker and then just slowed right down. Again, Jordan Pickford would have dropped that and pinged it first time and there would have been a massive counter-attack. Shot into Paqueta, who's holding off Ben Godfrey. Nice little trick. Nice little flick. Beautiful pass. It's good. Nice work. James Ward-Prowse. Out wide to the right-hand side. Kudus picks up the ball inside the area. Frozen in time a little bit. There were 2-3 men on him, and he just had to. He sort of was stood still, not really with any options of anything to do. If we're being honest, Soufal's going to take the long throw from the right hand side. Well, it's not really the space for him to wind it up, so instead he takes it short to Alvarez, back to Soufal, back to Alvarez, forced slower and slower, further and further back. And Everton pick up the ball. We might be the worst team from Proets. It's incredible. Beto plays it out wide to Jack Harrison on the overlap. Look to try and play it in. Nice little slotted pass in behind for Beto. Doesn't work out. He collects it again just before it goes out for a throw-in. Harrison tries to cross it. Souček gets the block. It's going to be a throw-in. Kudus just hooks that one away. Branthwaite collects it. Onana turns, tries to fire it in towards Decore. Brief shouts for handball against him. Soufal gets the block from the cross. Poor pass there from Everton. Mavropanos boots it away. I feel like they're knocking on the door a little bit here. Bell? Listen, if they call it, they call it. Marley, thank you very much. Thank you. It's a Charlie Walsh original, this one. I say it every single time I use it, but that's because it's legitimately the only thing I've ever drawn I'm proud of. Right, but all hand drawn by your boy. Or ignore the thought. We'll ignore that one. But all hand drawn by the boy. Genuinely proud of that. Shouldn't be. But it's someone who... someone whose family has a lot of like artistic flair, and me with the drawing is awful. The fact I drew this, I'm very happy about it. Paqueta little foot in does nice to find Emerson. And then Jarrod Bowen, he's come wide to collect it and get involved. I tell you what, he's gone all the way in West by himself there. He just kept going and going and going. There just wasn't really any options, so he just decided to carry on going and managed to get all the way into the 6-yard box somehow. James Ward-Prowse was calling for it. Kudus was calling for it at one point, but it was just never really opened up fully space. Never really opened up a big space for him to take a shot or to take a pass or to take a shot. So he just carried on going. Listen, to be fair, look, we've all got the thing. I've put on the Dean Marsh original, you know, from 1 of 100, of course, to try and because that worked last time to see if it happened. So, you know, Paqueta did well to try and keep that one in. It doesn't quite work out, but it did well. "10 minutes gone. You know? Or 9 minutes gone. It's not filling me with the most amount of hope I've ever seen in my life. Bell. Is that enough in a quick succession? One more in quick succession and I'd do it. Then more one and then I'd Deadpool it. Dwight McNeil goes down, starts complaining he doesn't have a free kick while we're getting the ball and coming away with it while he's still on the move. Enough people have called for bells. I'll go for it. Bell, yes or no in chat now? Free kick somehow against Everton. We'll take that. Bell poll should be in chat now at the top of the chat, just over here somewhere. Just over here. Well, it depends where you're looking at. It could be there or it could be down here. And I'll give it until... We'll give it until 57. We'll give it until 57. Garner streams forward with the ball. Oh, that's a great ball. Header! Beto, 1-0. Beto gets the goal. I'll tell you what, that was an incredible cross from Garner. You've got... I think it was Garner. You've got to... I mean, I just said who it was, but I've already forgotten because I'm just so like, oh, for Christ's sake. But it was a beautiful cross. It really was pinpoint accurate. And Beto gets the goal after missing the penalty and looking distraught about it for a long time. That is an unreal cross. I wanna see the replay again because that cross was just so good. Ball gets played again. It's just so direct and quick down that line. There's just no wasting time. Garner just strides forward with the ball. Oh, that cross is beautiful. It is Garner who hits it. And Beto, yeah, probably way too easy if we're being honest about it, in the box. I mean, it's a good header. Listen, it is what it is. 1-0 Everton. Uphill battle to climb now. I don't know how confident I can be about it. But an uphill battle to climb now. That cross was unreal. And again, just no way. I love how fast Everton play the ball, you know? Like, they collected the ball on the halfway line, turned around, bang into the path of Garner, just sprint into the bit of space he had, then whipped it across. There was no waiting, there was no nothing. It was just direct bosh. Which is something we just don't do enough of, you know? We don't tend to hit it. We don't tend to be that, I don't know, decisive with it. And it's a huge benefit when you do because you just let people off. Like, the ball comes in and Beto's there and Mavropanos, I need to see the replay from a different angle, but like Beto's sort of in space between Soufal and Mavropanos. But he's way more central than he should be given what I've just said. Like, real central. Yeah. I don't know. 1-0. 1-0. Timer up. I should have checked that. Let's end the poll there. 68% said yes, 31% said no. So the bell poll is active. Bell has been activated. I'll go and grab it. The second this run of play is over. Everton again looking for the through ball. That's a great through ball as well. Jack Harrison took an awful first touch, but the ball comes in. Oh my God, Areola. Jesus Christ. Without Areola, where the hell would we be right now? Ball played through was really nice to Jack Harrison, and he stumbled a little bit and hesitated, and I thought he'd lost the opportunity, but he manages to find the space just to play it into Dwight McNeil, who's running onto it. Does well just to sort of open his body up and volley it with a side foot, and Areola thankfully matches it, but Jesus Christ. Kudus can come away with the ball here. This is a great opportunity. The pass is an interesting one, but he finds Sufal. And across his paw from Sufal. Over top of everyone. Paqueta flicks it back across and Pickford collects it. Who plays it again instantaneously. Just pings it. This is end-to-end stuff right now. Charging forward now. Dwight McNeil. Down the middle. He's got Beto just ahead of him. He stumbles. Referee says no free kick. Just a stumble from Dwight McNeil. And now we can go. Emerson. Out wide to Kudus. Back to Emerson. We slow it down more. We don't slow it down. They're just going to get into position. We slowed it down. Do you know what? I'm just going to go get the bell, baby bell. I'm so confident that's going to happen here. I'll be back in a second, ladies and gentlemen. There's no point. We slowed it down. We're not going to do anything from this position. I'll get a baby bell. Right, bell acquired. Yeah, I was right. Nothing happened. We're still on the ball. We're still passing it around. Slowing it down is the most annoying thing in the world to me. Especially when you're up against other teams, maybe not. But when you're up against a team like Everton, who are going to get back into position, into good positions, and just like sit in and stop stuff going into the spaces, never slow down because you're just going to give them time to get back. And the fact I've gone to the fridge, got a baby bell, come back, and I've had time to not only talk about how this has happened, but I'll probably eat the baby bell before we actually do anything with it. It's so annoying. That is some weird stuff on here. Kudus shot from range goes wide, never going in. Somehow he's got a corner off it. So we'll take it. We'll take it. Corner, Zuma coming forward for it. Zuma with the goal. Header from a corner. Whipped in, and Zuma connects on it, and it ends up in the top corner. James Ward-Prowse in swinger again. Just do it slightly deeper than usual. It's weird how that works, right? Does well to just push his man forward. I don't know who his man was, but it's Godfrey, and he just sort of forces him forward into a slightly awkward position. It gives Zuma the space. Mavropanos was also there, and he sort of leant back a little bit and just off his forehead into the top corner, real top corner as well. Beautiful stuff. 1-1. Let's absolutely go. The bells. The bells are ringing. The bell wasn't the nicest bell I've ever tasted in my life. I'm not gonna lie. One. I'm shocked. Surprised. I'll be honest, I thought 1-0 it was a foregone conclusion. I thought it was going to stay 1-0. I couldn't see it from us. That's a bell, chap. Bell was the go. Go get another bell. It's the bell. Bell hammer of the year. Listen. People mock us. Me specifically. And yet, here we are once more. Once more, yet more proof. There was another goal. I can't remember what match it was. There was another. It was a match a couple of months ago, probably 3 months ago or something, where we scored while I was mid-eating the bell. And it was in one of those compilation videos that like Fan Reaction FC or Fan Reaction Football Club or whichever one it was did. And like one of the people, and I was on muted. I was muted when the goal went in because I was eating the bell, and then had to unmute myself to like say yes, we've scored or whatever. And I saw in the comment section someone was like one person who's just like, respect the guy for muting while he ate. It was one of the nicest comments I've ever received. Decore on the ball. Plays it into Dwight McNeil, who's having a very good second half and a shot from range. Blocked by Areola, and then again picks up the save from the Jack Harrison cross. I tell you what, Dwight McNeil is having a good second half. He's looking just perennially dangerous. Picks up the ball from range there. And he goes for a shot from range, which was never going in, but it was well struck and forces the save out of Areola. And Harrison's follow-up cross is disappointing. Why did we take so long to take the cut kick? And it was a long kick from Areola, therefore, of course, Everton stop it from doing anything. Eat bells for a full 90 minutes. My doctor would not be pleased about that. Would not be pleased about that. Their quick one doesn't work out there. We can come away with it. Nice from Mavropanos to find Sufal first time. Not a bad ball in. Header on from Paqueta. Left wanting and goes wide. There is a sub happening now. Calvin Phillips is going to be the one coming on. Who for? I didn't see the number. For James Ward-Prowse. Well, look, I'm gonna wish that there's actually something there, that Dave's seen something's happening. He's like, right, I've seen something we can exploit here by doing this. Realistically though, bad times, but we'll see. I mean, maybe Souček being further forward when we have Calvin Phillips on the pitch would be more beneficial, because we now have Calvin Phillips, who in theory should be better than Flynn Downs or James Ward-Prowse in that position. I don't like it though. I can't act like I like it. I can't like I like it. I think we had a question about it once. I did consider going back and checking all the matches, but I realised I couldn't be asked. However, I did consider it once. We got a question. I can't remember who asked it, but we did get a question about it. But I just realised I couldn't be asked. Big game for Calvin Phillips. After his awful start, every game he plays is going to be big until he has a good performance. This one is no exception. I'm going to be really interested to see. I mean, in theory, bringing him on right should we should be able to keep possession of the ball better. We should be able to maybe counter attack better. He should be able to like get the ball forward successfully, get those long balls going, stuff like that. We shouldn't lose defensively too much. I mean, Souček is a stalwart defender defensively. But he should still be some sort of form of defensive. We lose out a lot on Souček going into the 10 as opposed to James Ward-Prowse in terms of pressing. That's basically just us saying we're no longer going to press. But hopefully maybe Souček can get further forward and get into the box quicker now playing from that position. Maybe essentially stand alongside... I mean, Kudus seems to have sort of moved up front as well. I don't know. There's some interesting movements going on right now. We'll have to analyse it as it goes, because there's some interesting movements going on. Bowen seems to have taken up position wide right. Whether or not he stays there or not is a different question. But he's on the wide. He's on the right flank right now. Kudus was more central a second ago. In fact, he looks like he's wide left. Honestly, right now, it looks almost like Thomas Souček is up front. It looks almost like Thomas Souček is up front. No, Paqueta looks up front. I think Paqueta's up front. I think we've moved people around. Everton are attacking down the left-hand side. Good stop there by Vladimir Soufal. I think Paqueta's moved up front. I think we've got Paqueta up front with Thomas Souček in the 10, Kudus on the left, and Bowen on the right. Which is interesting. I'll be honest with you. I think Paqueta up front has worked really well for us when we've done it. So I'm not necessarily against it. I do think it's a bit insane, but I'm not necessarily against it. Kudus on the left. It's not something I'm keen on. It's not something I'm keen on, but it is what it is. Thomas Souček in the 10, not something I'm keen on, but again, it is what it is. Beto does well to create a little bit of space, and he was... Oh my lord, I'll tell you what. I thought I was nothing. I'll tell you what, Beto's moving with a bit of confidence now he's got that goal. And that shot from range, did he take a deflection? Yeah, it takes a big deflection off Emerson. Great save from Areola. Really, really good save from Areola. Congratulations to the person who's just won one line on the bingo. Someone's just done it. Congratulations, whoever that is. Whipped in. Oh, no, no. How's that not ended up in the net? How was Everton not just scored there? I think it was cleared off the line. Whipped back in towards the box. Jarrod Bowen slips over. Shot from range from Dwight McNeil goes wanting wide. I don't know how the hell that hasn't ended up in the back of the net. Whipped in towards the back. And Decore hits it, and it's a block on the line from Thomas Souček. Decore basically just gets a touch onto it. Not even sure how aware of it he is. And Thomas Souček manages to stop it on the line. Fair play. Fair play. 20 minutes to go. 1-1. Blocked on the line. Yeah, congratulations to whoever's just won one line, by the way. I'm still annoyingly close, but whoever's just won one line, congratulations. Someone's just done it. Garner's down, so we're going to have a stop and play. Like a true centre forward, yeah. Big man on the line, no messing. Paqueta, don't get me wrong, Paqueta is very clumsy there. I don't think he's necessarily... It's difficult because he gets the ball and obviously he's being pulled around by Mikalenko behind him, so he's at full stretch because he's being pulled around. But his studs definitely do go into Garner there. Like that ball from Garner is so nice. I'm just seeing the replay of the goal he scored. It's so good. Ours we take. We need to be better at corners. Getting one, positive. Different corner tactics today, positive. So we take that. We take that. Long second half to go. Bell 2. Seeing a lot of calls for bells. Now there are ways you can watch the game if you want to. If you look down in the link in the description below, there's a bit there called join our Discord. Lovely Hams chat, West Ham community fans of all clubs are welcome, of course, but more importantly, on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, there's a bit there called stream links in which you will find what you're looking for. Everton playing the ball forward. McNeil wide to Harrison, cross deflected into the hands of Areola. Let's play it quickly. I've seen enough calls for bells where I'll do it. I also need to check if they're in date. It should be. I only just bought them, but at the same time. Big ball forward. Kudus is there. Mohammed Kudus. Through. Kudus. Oh my God. And Jordan Pickford saves it with his feet. With his feet. Somehow that's not in. There should be a poll in the chat right now for bell number 2. Big ball over the top. Mohammed Kudus chests it down. Holds off his man. Wobbles. Falls. Hits it. And then Jordan Pickford does brilliantly to save that with his feet, by the way. Unreal control from Kudus to chest that down. And then under pressure from two big men in Godfrey and Tarkowski. Godfrey getting a key touch. We don't get to see that final Pickford save. I'll give it until 74.5, by the way. It's going to be a corner to West Ham. Jarrod Bowen to take it. He's asking Paqueta to come short. Lays it to him. Paqueta should have just turned across it there. Oh, miscommunication. We still have the ball, but miscommunication. Paqueta looks to try and cut inside again. Maybe could have just gone for that cross. Maybe should have just gone for that cross. Stood perfectly still. Dwight McNeil's is real. I tell you what, Dwight McNeil's having a good game. Dwight McNeil's having a good game. An annoying miscommunication there that could have really done something for us, but yeah. Beto coming off after his goal for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Annoying. Be a problem. It's, I mean, yeah, useful, but also scary. No, I would not, Simon. Here's the thing, Simon. If they were out of date, no, I would not do it. Here's my problem. I've already eaten one. So technically I have taken one for the team already, is my argument. But would I? No, I only bought them like in the last week, so they should be fine. At the same time, not trusting. Tom, thank you very much for the £2 super sticker. Massively appreciate it, sir. You always do it, and you never have to, bro. You never have to. I mean, to be fair, everyone's like Oxby, you do it super often. Dave does it super often. Just a Yank does it super often. None of you have to do it. Thank you very much. It helps us out massively. But Tom, I'll love your name in the top and down, and then I'll end the bell poll after that. There you go, Tom. Your name will appear up there in just a few moments' time. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at the poll. Everton streaming forward. The bell poll's passed, by the way. Whipped across. Areola again and comes out and does well there to stop that one. A glorious opportunity for Everton. And without him, that felt like a guaranteed goal. Ball gets whipped in. Bell poll went past, by the way. 78% said yes. 21% said no. Ball got whipped across with some venom. Again, just very direct play from Everton down the line. Decore charging forward, whips it into a really nice space, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin was there. It was in the corridor of uncertainty, but thankfully Areola knew exactly what to do. Flew out, gets a hand to the ball, palms it around Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and it's really nicely done from him. Right, I'm gonna go run and grab that bell while this happens. I decided not to miss anything. So I just brought the entire net in. Then I can actually check if they're in date as well. By the way, where would we be without Areola right now? Where would we be? Gonna need a full cheese wheel. I need to get a full damn wheel at some point. Right, let's see these. No, they're fine. It says May, 17th of May. Come on. We're getting in. Everton looking to build up from the back now. Harrison collects. Emerson battles with Thomas Souček, and West Ham win the ball back. A little bit of stress there from Onana. Onana screams at Thomas Souček for. Yes, Thomas Souček, well known as a diver. Shut up, Onana, frankly. Decore takes the ball past him. Turns around. Big ball, easily stopped again from Areola. Apparently changes are about to happen some more, says the commentator. I'm hearing Antonio's name get said. Kudus picks up the ball, turns with it. Close. The play was nice, but Kudus goes down maybe a bit easy. Bell consumed. Kudus trying to take the man on. Beats him. I think it's going to be a free kick. Dwight McNeil stabs it into the path of Dominic Calvert-Lewin there, who takes a shot, and it's matched by Areola. Here come those subs. First, we're seeing Jack Harrison coming off. And Gomez coming on. I honestly forgot Gomez existed. And Paqueta coming off and Antonio coming on. So, who is it? It was Harrison for Gomez. I mean, with Paqueta still sort of working his way back from injury, it makes sense. Giving Antonio more game time, him getting some game time, it sort of makes sense. I do think it's, I do think we're not going to win now. I'll say that much, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not vodka. I wish it was. Again, I wish I drank alcohol, because it would make these streams a lot easier sometimes. Nice ball through, taken down in the area. There's some calls. Branthwaite gets the ball. I think it was clean, mainly because Jarrod Bowen was the one who didn't complain about it. Jarrod Bowen was through. Antonio complained about it. Whoever else was next to him complained about it. I think it was Thomas Souček, but he was the one who didn't. Antonio collects the ball and does really well. Go on, Mikhail. He fell down very easy there. He did really well the first time. Second one was a bit pathetic from him, I can't lie. But yeah, I don't think it was a penalty. Jarrod Bowen went down in the box, but he didn't call for it, which makes me feel it definitely wasn't a pen. Garner looking for the shot from range. Blocked, and away can come Mohammed Kudus. Come on. Souček. Forward to Jarrod Bowen. Wide on the right-hand side. Mikel Antonio charging through the centre. Jarrod Bowen takes on Branthwaite, who does really well to get the block there. Does really well to get the block there. He's very good as Branthwaite. He's very good. Gomez. Plays it out wide to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Shot from right from Gomez easily into the hands of Areola. A shuffle delivers yet another banger. On your movements, I don't see no room for improvements. On your Jack Jones, you know to get me behind your backbone, because I'm the man for the job. Let me work it. Bless me. So don't stop doing what you're doing when you do it. Big song. Big song. Flip ball over the top. Calvert-Lewin on the ball, wide right in that corner quadrant. And he Kudus as well, just to force him into an awkward position. He does the pass and it lands straight into the feet of Emerson. Kudus Oh, that's really nicely done. That's beautiful. Oh, Pickford, who's very some classic sweeper keeper movements from Pickford there, so far off his line, and the ball comes over the top. And if he was in a foot race from his line to try and collect that before Jarrod Bowen, I would have suspected he would have lost. But the fact he's already ready to come and go for it just means he can get there. Gomez goes down holding his face. Everyone carries on, including him. Decore offside. I'm calling it at 2 bells. I can't eat another one. As much as I would like a pizza as well. I can't. Just too much cheese. Too much cheese. Jesus. Does anyone know if it's a Goofy movie? Ariana collecting it well again. Has anyone seen Goofy movie? Where the dude has the like cheese spraying in a can that they have in America. And he makes like the Leaning Tower of Pisa out of cheese. And he's like, it's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I think about that a lot. Mavropanos. Passing it around on the halfway line, West Ham currently. Phillips finds Mavropanos, who takes too long. Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets a touch on it, but Mavropanos recovers and plays it back to Areola. Well, we might as well pass it round this deep, because it's the only way we're going to drag them out of position. We're not going to do that passing it round on the halfway line, are we? But Areola boots it long and instantly they win the ball back because it's how they do. Thankfully, poor pass is intercepted by Alvarez. Yes. KTK was the person who put me onto it originally. Just what an insane invention. Antonio takes on his man, beats him, pings it across. That was hard. To the point where Pickford couldn't collect it first time. He just managed to snap on it second time. Decore, nice play inwards. Finds Garner. Passing was poor there to find Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They still have the ball, and they've managed to create a little bit of space on this left-hand side. Back to Gomez, who could shoot from range. Looks like he wants to, like 3 separate times. End up palming it away from Areola from a shot from a stupid angle, and then the long shot from Onana. Balloons over the bar. My big criticism today is just I think you know me, right? If you've been around here long enough, there's 800 of you in here, by the way. Jesus Christ, thank you very much. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, because we do watch-alongs every single game we can. We're the most consistent West Ham fan channel when it comes to watch-alongs. We've missed like 4 or 5 over the course of 5 or 4 years at this point. And hey, we have loads of other videos as well, including the live match review straight after this. And of course, mine and Geo's debrief live stream tomorrow at some point. I don't know when yet. But hey, hello. Didn't even realize there's so many people. But if you lot have been around here long enough, you'll know that I'm not necessarily... Listen, do I like our style of football? No. But I sort of accept it because how successful it's been and, you know, this, that, and the other, right? I think when you look at this Sean Dyche side, it highlights one of the biggest criticisms I have of Moyes' style of play. And that's just we don't counter-attack quick enough for my liking. I feel like we just take too long on the ball. We dilly and we dally. And there's this middle ground we keep finding ourselves in where we're not quite doing full Moyes ball and we're not quite going into something else. And we just get caught in this position where we just take too long on the ball. Whereas Everton have no concerns about that whatsoever. They get the ball as direct forward as possible. Doesn't matter whether the passing's long, short, high, low. Dominic Calais hits it, deflects upwards. Tell you what, well headed there from Soufal, just diving in. Gomez takes too long. Good defending. And we take that free kick. I think that was Thomas Souček. Good work. Very nicely done. Doesn't matter whether it's long, short, high, low. It doesn't matter. Everton get the ball forward directly and quickly. And the amount of times it puts us into positions we don't like is notable. And so especially when we come up against a team like Everton, who are good defensively and can, you know, lock in and stop people from getting in there, a bit like we do. The style of football we have struggled the most against when it comes to David Moyes' second tenure at West Ham specifically, and his first as well, but specifically his second tenure, I'm talking about him. In a situation like that where, you know, they've turned over possession, be it for a goal kick or be it whatever, why do we take so long with it? We took forever. Especially when we have Areola, who's not good at kicking it long. So we take forever, and then it comes to Areola to boot it long, and then we lose the ball back instantly. It's like, it seems silly to me. It just seems somewhat counterintuitive. I feel like we should be a lot quicker to counterattack than we are. A lot quicker to counterattack. A minute to go. Everton passing the ball around, doing full-on horseshoe manoeuvres. Mykolenko now back to Andre Gomez, across to Onana. Ooh, horseshoe interrupted. Onana streams forward. Back to Mykolenko. Back to Onana. No, horseshoe re-established. Horseshoe re-established. Oh, now a bit further to Decore, who then plays it over closer to the right-hand side. Garner looking for the shot from range. Good block from Alvarez, who just jumps in front of it. Then Areola collects it. The thing is, I wouldn't describe us as hanging on, because I don't think Everton have looked too dangerous for a little while. I think we were hanging on. I will say that. I think without Areola today, we'd have been in big trouble. Or without a goalkeeper playing. Fabianski's capable of putting in these performances as well, but without a goalkeeper playing as well as Areola has, we would have been in trouble. For the last five minutes or so, Everton's movement is just slowed down, and it doesn't feel as lightning dangerous as it once was. 5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes of added time. It doesn't feel as lightning dangerous. Mykolenko, look at that little turn from Mykolenko. He can move. He's in, nicely done as well. Whipped across, cleared away. But yeah, they just haven't looked as dangerous as they did the sort of 20 minutes before that for someone. Emerson, wide to Kudus. Takes on his man, whips it in. Back post, controlled down from Souček. A late stunner from Thomas Souček. And the helicopter spin is out. Topless Thomas Souček with an absolute peach of a goal. Cross comes in from Kudus at the far side. The game sort of felt like it was dripping and drying out. The Everton fans felt like there was nothing against them. Kudus at the far side collects it, and no one even comes remotely close to stopping him. And it's played across to Thomas Souček, who's barely even in the box. He's so far across. I'm not sure what he was doing in that position specifically. But he has the space to control it down with his chest. And it hits an absolute peach with the outside of his right boot into the top corner, or the side netting at least. Does it take a deflection? I don't even know if it takes a deflection. That is an absolute perler from Thomas Souček. Let's see the reverse angle. Oh, Thomas Souček! 2-1, a huge moment. We all spoke about the idea of him getting a goal today as well. That is massive. That's so good from him as well. Come on. Oh. 2-1. So late on as well. Mad. Absolute madness. Thomas Souček gets the goal. West Ham 2. Everton 1. I can't act like I feel like it's deserved. Susan with the £2. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. I can't act like I feel like... Yellow card for Souček, of course, for taking a shot off. Mad. Susan, thank you very much. Your name is in the top corner now, late on, but massively, massively appreciate it. Thank you. And as well, thank you, of course, to Tom, to the Oxby, to Asti Punch Drunk Gaming, and of course to Just a Yank. Dobbin coming on for McNeil right at the end of the game here. Again, I thought it's had a really strong second half. Man, Thomas Souček, we called it earlier on. We were all talking about the idea of Thomas Souček getting a goal, needing it. And we all, to be fair, we were talking about it in terms of getting his big old spam on it, getting it in, just nodding it home. But no, crazy. I'm shocked. Samir, I am as shocked as you are, bro. I am as shocked as you are. Jesus Christ, I'm not trying. No. We're taking it. The control, the finish. I'm not even certain it took a deflection, you know. I'm not even certain it took a deflection. He's just absolutely, it's just beautiful. It's a right-footed finish as well. Oh, what's annoying is I didn't get a yellow card, otherwise I would have had a line. If that yellow card was 2 minutes later, I would have had a line completed as well. Annoying. Everton corner, late on in the game. Very late on in the game. Remember, Geo will be live with a full match review straight after this, so stick around until the end, because he'll be going live to talk it through in full match detail. But before then, we have a corner to Everton. 1 minute left, plus any extra time that's added on for the goal and how long that's taken to come back into it. Everton to take. Garner comes across to do it. They're big men in there. Whipped in. Nodded away. From the front post, I think from... I don't know why it's getting... Okay, it's getting called to retake it, and I'm not really sure why, but it is. Moyes unhappy about it, not surprisingly. I really don't know why it's... I'll be honest with you, I'm really not sure why it's getting retaken, but it's where we're at. Garner to take it once more. Played almost into the exact same position, and this time instead of with his foot, Soufal clears it with his head. God knows. Oh, Jarrod Bowen collects it off a mistake. This is a good opportunity. Kudus is there. You've got Alvarez streaming across as well. Jarrod Bowen streaming down on goal. Plays it to Alvarez. Edson Alvarez. Edson Alvarez with a beautiful chip. Does Pickford like a kipper. It's a beautiful finish. A wonderful counter-attack. One of the few fast counter-attacks we've played this entire game. And it's ended up in a goal for El Machine. 3-1 is the scoreline. Beautiful, beautiful counter-attacking goal. As simple as you like. I haven't felt like we've deserved it for most of this game. I can't lie. But 2 goals in stoppage time absolutely kill Everton. Everyone's just piled on top of each other. Come on, Edson Alvarez. Ball gets booted forward from Soufal. Really awful pass into the path of Jarrod Bowen, who just keeps running, and Edson Alvarez on the overlap gives him the option, and the dink over him is so good. It's so good. 2 absolutely beautiful stoppage time goals. Whoever said I'm shell shocked, I'm still shell shocked. West Ham at 3, Everton 1. Holy hell. Edson Alvarez, what a finish. Jarrod Bowen does really well. I thought he'd held on for it too long. I felt like they might be able to get back. I thought like the counter-attack had just slowed down a little bit too much. Edson, yes. Yes. 3-1, ladies and gentlemen. 3-1. Christ, Edson Alvarez's first goal in the Premier League. It's a beautiful thing. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Oh my God. And Ogbonna coming on right at the end of the game here to see out the result. Ogbonna coming on for Emerson. I'm shocked. I'm fully shocked. The 5 minutes is obviously up. There's been added time for the 2 extra goals, plus the time it's taken to actually restart the game is taking quite a long time. So we're about to hit 7 minutes of added time gone now on the 5 that was called. So you can imagine it all ends soon. The seat Everton, it's an empty stadium right now. There is a lot of blue seats. I feel so sorry for them as well, because I feel like, I'm not going to lie, they've deserved the goal. They've deserved the win. Well, let me put it this way, they certainly haven't deserved to lose. They certainly haven't deserved to lose in the way they have. I feel quite sorry for him in a way. How the hell has that happened? How the hell has that happened? If I was an Everton fan, I would be absolutely fuming as well, Richard. I can't lie. I would be absolutely fuming. He's been beautiful. He's been really good today. again, those flipping long balls just infuriating, but he's been absolutely beautiful. Listen, what can I say, Mark? I go on shows and people go, "Oh, you do that funny little thing where you eat the baby bells for luck." Yeah, who's laughing now? Huh? Again, as per usual, who's laughing now? Free kicks gets whipped in. It's awful. It's at the front post. Soufal's scuffed clearance wasn't great either, if we're being honest about it, but still. Areola happy to collect that one. Cross was directly at him. Happy to collect it and hold it true. I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked. Areola, do you know what? This time, boot it long. Take as long as you can possibly can, and then just boot it as hard as far as you can. I don't care that they'll win possession back. 3-1, final whistle. I don't believe that's happened at the end there. 3-1, 2 goals in stoppage time, 2 brilliant goals in stoppage time from defensive midfielders. Thomas Souček with an absolute perler and Edson Alvarez with a chip of dreams to give West Ham the 3-1 win. I don't know how it's worked, but it has. It has, and like I said, if I was an Everton fan, I would be fuming, because I feel like, to be honest with you, they did not deserve to lose that game. At least they did not deserve to lose that game. And yet somehow, Everton 1, West Ham 3 is the final score, putting us into 7th position ahead of Newcastle United, and only 2 points off Manchester United. Crazy. I'll spam the link now in the chat. Go ahead, Geo will be live in a few moments' time. I would ask for man of the match, but we got the winner so late that I forgot to. And also, let's be real, it's Edson Alvarez. However, sorry, not Edson Alvarez, it's Areola. Let's be real about it. But, ladies and gentlemen, link is there. It's in the live chat. Click on it. Head on over to the live match review, in which Geo will be doing in just a few moments' time. Breathe. Crazy finish to that game. Thank you, everyone, for watching. One last thank you as well, especially... Oh, I didn't even see this one. Hammers Gary. Hammers, thank you very much. I didn't see this one until just now. I know you must have just done it. I don't know. Incredible result. 2 wins on the bounce now. Jesus. But thank you very much, sir. I didn't even see you do this. Also to Susan, to Tom, to the Oxby, to Dave, Acid D, Punch Drunk Game, and of course, and to Just a Yank for all your super chats. Helps out the channel massively, as does liking the video and subscribing. And hey, like the video on the review. Get involved in that. Go spam that like button over there. And, Gio will get all excited. 3-1. Not even 2-1. 3-1, the final score in the end. A big West Ham win, up to 7th. 2 points off Manchester United, 6th. And going into Europe with a little bit of confidence. You love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate and love you all. And I shall see you for Europe on Thursday, I guess. See you later on. Bye.